Welcome to the Horror Hangout, a podcast where film fans watch the best and worst horror movies of all time and talk about them. My name is Ben Errington, and today I'm joined by regular co-host Mr.
Andy Conduit Turner. Hello, Ben. I'm back.
Hello, you're
Not from
back.
Silent Hill from America. Scary in a different way.
Scary in a different way, not foggy, ashy. What's going on in this film? Anyway, but we are joined by a very special guest. Sam Munster is a horror-obsessed, neurospicy chaos goblin, physical media collector and special features enthusiast, and podcaster with horror hyperfixations. Easy for you to say. Welcome to the show, Sam. Hello.
Hello, I got a full Instagram bio readout then. That was exciting. I was like, oh, this is where this is going. Cool.
Yeah, I wasn't just riffing on it. I went straight to the Instagram and stole it from there. I hope you don't mind.
No, it's
The
a very
exact words of
accurate
the
description of me.
A very accurate description, yes, indeed. Yeah. So welcome to the show. It's been we've been meaning to invite you for a little while.
Thank you for having me. It's, as I was saying earlier to Andy, it's very nice to actually like talk to your face instead of sort of glancing at each other from afar.
Yeah, exactly. We saw each other in the flesh recently.
We
didn't we? A
did.
couple of weeks
I
ago.
had a little mention on the podcast, little mention.
Yeah.
I always get excited when my name gets mentioned. It's like when you're a small child and your mum would like text into the radio station and they'd be like, "Happy birthday, Samantha's 8 today," and you'd be like, "Oh, that's me." That's what I'm like. I'm like when my name gets mentioned on a podcast. It's like it's my birthday and the local radio stations read out my name.
Yeah. What a feeling. But it was lovely, wasn't it? It was lovely to bump into each other.
It was, and you all looked after me. You and John and Gemma took me under your little wings and looked after me because I was there on my own, like a little Billy No Mates, literally.
You came as Billy No Mates. You left as
William
Tracy Trio, Tracy Free Mates. What did you say, Andy?
William Loads of Friends.
Andy wins. I like Andy's. That's the best
That's
one.
much better, isn't it? Much better. Andy always wins, for God's sake. But it was lovely, wasn't it? And you met Lloyd as well, didn't you?
And he called me sexy, so that's closest I've come to pulling in a long time that an 80-year-old man called me sexy.
Oh, very
In
nice.
front of his wife as well, who I assume was
know.
He's
bold. Just so happened the DVD's next to me wrote "Sexy Sam" on it, and I'm just like, can keep that forever.
In your faces, all other Sams, uggos.
Yeah, I'm the sexy one now because an 80-year-old weird little man told me. But he didn't tell me I smelled nice, unlike Ben.
Yeah, he did tell me that, didn't he? Yeah, there we go.
And Toxie dry humped you a little bit.
Did he? I didn't even notice that.
Didn't you? Oh, he was air humping you.
Oh, I see. Behind my back, was he? That's essentially
He's cheeky, though, isn't he? That's his whole thing.
He's cheeky. We'll let him off.
He is cheeky.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any like skin-to-skin contact, so he's probably all right.
He's all right. He was aroused, I expect.
No laws against it.
Is that your mop handle poking into the back of me? For God's sake. Ever so girthy.
How are you recovering from your trauma times? I tell you what, I am not recovered in a good way from the episode. What an excellent job, Ben. You had a lovely chat with Liam last week.
Thank you. Liam was a fantastic guest. He had all of the trauma insight, loads and loads of great stories. It was amazing. I loved it. I felt like I was in the presence of great wise knowledge. It was good times. But yeah, I enjoyed. Romeo and Juliet was great. And was that the first time you've seen it as well, Sam?
Yeah, I hadn't seen that one.
Yeah, it was great, wasn't it?
Really fun.
And
really good.
Swansea got mentioned.
It did. Big cheer from me and everyone else, which I was pleased with. I was like, yay!
No one's
Welsh
booing
people!
Swansea.
That was their version of hearing your name on the local radio when you get the name of your town or a place that you know. I know where that is, even if it's not where I live.
Tamworth massive.
It's given me a new question I need to find the answer to in life. I could probably Google it, but I'm just going to wait till I can ask someone this question. Was the mention of Swansea as a honeymoon destination where League of Gentlemen got it from when they say, "Is heaven like Swansea?" Is that where that came from? Because they were going to go to Swansea on honeymoon. Now this is like a new burning life question.
Potentially, or maybe it's just universally well known that Swansea is heaven.
Happening place.
It's a happening place.
Oh, go down the Mumbles with a load of 2Ps. Oh, you're having the best time.
Possible though, because isn't Reece Shearsmith in particular is a big horror movie guy? Loves them.
Next time, yeah,
Next time I see him somewhere, instead of just going, I can ask him.
he
So,
he
oi.
pops up at Fright Fest, didn't he?
He wasn't there last year because I
No.
was waiting. I was waiting on the press wall, standing there because his name was on the list, and I was like,
Mm.
he didn't come. What a bastard.
Ah, maybe he did come, but he just snuck up. He just avoided your gaze.
Probably, considering the first time I spoke to him, I told him I had a Mr. Jelly tattoo, and he was like, cool, cool.
Cheer, that's great. Yeah, so awesome.
Yeah. Just that weird person who just smiles at him across the room now going, can't talk to you ever again.
Right. We'll come up with a plan for this August as we all get together. Spoilers, it's going to involve disguises.
Oh yeah, little
I'm gonna
mustache.
have a mustache.
Yeah.
Mm.
And do a
And Ben's
French
hat.
accent the whole time.
You
Oh,
can have my hat.
bonjour, monsieur. No, we can't tell. No more. We don't want him to get tipped off if he's listening.
Okay.
No
He's
more.
obviously listening.
Obsessed with us.
Obsessed with us. Leave us alone, will you? Okay, Sam. Should we talk a little bit about your podcast, Horror Hyperfixations? How long have you been doing that? Because I mean, to be fair though, you appear on all the podcasts, right?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm trying to like go on other people's podcasts more because it's less work for me than if I do my own podcast because I'm lazy. No, I've been doing mine for about 2 years. I wanted to do it for like way longer, but having like the spoons to do it was the issue. But it is about, so I was late diagnosed with autism and ADHD like 2 years ago, and it's made me reassess my whole life and how I am the way I am, the way I love things, the way I love them. And I was like, oh, that's why I'm so obsessed with horror. It's literally a hyperfixation of mine. So I thought, let's talk about that in podcast form and invite other neurospicy people on to talk about it. And it's been one of my favorite things I've ever done, just getting to chat to fellow wonky brained humans about their favorite films or wonky brained humans who also make films and how they, how they get on set and manage to get their day done. And I'm just constantly in awe of people like that. So
Mm.
yeah, it's cool. I love it.
It's a really interesting, like, unique spin for a podcast as well, isn't it?
And somebody's even named a metal album Horror Hyperfixation, and I'm like, oh, I might send him a cease and desist because
Oh.
I haven't listened to the album, but I don't know whether they've
They've sampled
I
your
forgot
voice.
about that. Shut up. Oh,
Can you
if it's
imagine?
pig squeals, I'll think that's the best thing in the world.
Oh, that'd be good.
Oh, that was beautiful, Ben.
Was it good? I wasn't
Yeah,
sure
that
if it'd get
tiny
picked
little
up.
pig squeal.
Yeah.
Then,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think
don't
the
worry.
mic did you a little bit dirty. I think it did edit you
Yeah.
out a tiny bit.
That's fine. I'll take it. It's all good. But yeah, super excited. You guys, do you do episodes every week? Is that right?
No, it's when I can be bothered.
Okay.
I think part of the reason I didn't start doing podcasts was because I felt like I had to do it a certain way because all my favorite podcasts did it every week or every fortnight. And I was like, actually, this is my podcast. Fuck everyone else. I can do what I want when I want. So when I have the energy, I will sit down and I'll either record one by myself or I'll
Yeah, I noticed
arrange
that.
a chat with people. So there's a couple, like there's one episode where it's nearly 4 hours of me talking to myself about the Plague stories, about how much I absolutely love it. So not talking to anybody, just talking to myself for 4 hours.
That's great
Because
though.
hyperfixation.
That's amazing though,
Obsessed with it.
because not many people do podcasts solo, do they? Really?
No.
So it's pretty impressive.
And yeah, the
Yeah,
episodes then with people, sometimes it's an hour, sometimes it's 4 hours. And they come out when I can be bothered to edit them and publish them.
I like that you
Love
did
it.
with 28 years later. You did like a predictions episode, then you did like a review episode, which was good with the same
On the
person as well.
M4, as you do.
Yeah, on the M4. Careful, keep your eyes on the road.
I was being very sensible.
Yeah. But what a way to pass the time, isn't it? I've never
Exactly.
even thought about
And
doing that.
well, my best friend also has ADHD and autism. So we're very similar, and we were gonna mic ourselves up. We were gonna do something before we left, and we were late. We were too busy just doing a load of other stuff. And then we were just like, let's just try it in the car. At worst, we don't use the audio and we dump it and pretend it never happened. But we didn't. So
I like that.
utilize
nice,
time.
Yeah, utilize your time, and a nice sort of like DIY version of the podcast as well. It's good. Yeah, but
it's all DIY.
Yeah,
These are the best kinds. I tell you what, we've come to this a lot. Podcasting for me has always been about independent creation. It's always been about getting people who want to share stories and want to have conversations getting out there. Increasingly, particularly post-pandemic, you see a lot of people who have legitimate TV careers and Sainsbury's sponsorships and long list of professional performing things, and they're welcome to do so. But it does make it difficult for the independent podcaster when someone has that kind of baked in audience and, let's be honest, marketing budget to make sure you're always listed and stuff. So I actively try to seek out more podcasts like yours, Sam, which are here's a real person who will maybe say what they think rather than what the marketing blurb tells them they should be focusing on.
Very much a real person, but not sure I'm actually a person. More of a gremlin goblin hybrid.
A gremlin goblin hybrid. A
groblin.
Groblin. Yeah, I was trying to get out there. Groblin. That's what I call my dog Dennis. I call my dog Dennis a groblin quite often.
Dog Dennis a groblin, easy for you to say.
He's not a bloody he's not a gremlin, he's not a goblin. What are you, mate? Groblin. There we go. He seems happy with it as well, I reckon. Suits him. I guess for our audience to get a little bit an idea of you as a horror fan, then Sam, and an idea of your what you like in terms of the genre, I'm going to ask you about your horror Mount Rush horror. Easy for me to say.
Call it. Yeah.
Yep. So 4 characters or directors or actors, or we've had weapons on this show before, not the movie, an actual like movie weapon, a monster, anything like that. What would make up your horror Mount Rushmore, Sam?
My first one has to be Victor Crowley, Sweet Baby Angel, Victor Crowley, off of Hatchet. Hatchet is my favorite film of all time.
Is it?
Yeah, it's my favorite horror film, and it's my favorite film of of all the films. I don't know why, I just love it, and Victor Crowley's amazing, and I have 2 Victor Crowley tattoos, and I've got to have my head ripped in half by Kane Hodder. Best 40 quid I've ever spent in my life. And yeah, I just fucking love Victor Crowley. He is the best. # Victor Crowley is my boyfriend.
We need to do a Hatchet episode. I think we've
never done
I'm your gal. I'm your gal.
Have you got the credentials? 2 tattoos and a photo with Kane Hodder probably makes sense.
Unless we get an email with someone who's got 3 tattoos between now and the recording.
I think it's like humanly impossible for anyone to have more than 2 tattoos dedicated to Hatchet, because nobody's.
What are the tattoos? Because I'm assuming, is one just Victor Crowley and another one like a moment from the film?
One is Victor Crowley's head on the back of my thigh, and it says "Daddy" underneath. It's very cool. You're welcome for that very impressive Victor Crowley impression. And the other one is sort of like top of my thigh, side of my arse cheek. It's about yay big, very big tattoo, because big arse cheek. And it is, you've seen Hatchet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first proper kill where Mrs. Parmatio gets her head ripped in half, and there's that really cool camera angle spin around. That is my favorite kill of any horror movie ever, and I have the hands in the head being ripped open in black and grey realism. It's beautiful.
Oh wow.
My friend Chloe Black did it for me, and it's beautiful. And I made sure I was that person who tagged Adam Green in it. I was like, look, Adam Green, look. And he said it was cool or awesome. It was one of those.
That sounds such a cool and creative tattoo. Be interested to see the design, he says, being very careful not to imply that he's asking to see your ass. That's fine.
There is a picture on Instagram. It took me a long time until I could get a photo of it where I could not basically flash the world. So I had to get my friend to help me take it, and
There are mirrors involved. It's a lot of work.
I had to get it signed off by the tattooist. I was like, "Is this an appropriate angle?" Yes, it's great. So
oh, great tattoo.
Just got to show it to Kane Hodden now because he said he's never seen anyone have that tattoo.
There we go.
Yeah.
This sounds incredible. Just to verify before we move on to person 2 on Mount Rush Horror, Ben, whenever you think of Victor Crowley, do you think of it in Ozzy Osbourne's voice? Is it impossible to say it any other way in your head?
Ozzy Osbourne's voice, and it starts turning into that stereophonic song as well. Mr. Crowley. I've got Ozzy and the stereophonics mixed up again. But yeah, it is, because I also love Mr. Crowley, the song.
Who's your number 2, Sam?
Well, I don't know, to be honest. I was trying to think, and I was like, there's loads of people this could be, but I think Pinhead has to be on there. Old Pinhead, bless him.
He's just doing a job, isn't he?
He's just such an iconic icon. I know that sounds like a stupid fucking thing to say, but he is. He's iconic. And I was obsessed with him as a child because I was terrified of him before I knew who he was. I saw a mask of him that scared me. I saw his face looking at me in Blockbuster. And then when I finally saw it, I was like, that guy's fucking cool. So I think it'd be a shit Mount Horrormore if you didn't have that face glowering down at you.
Imagine all the time it would take to carve the pins out of the bloody rock as well. It'd be horrific.
Me and the engineers for this one, Ben, I think we'd use rebar
Actual
so we could do it at scale.
Yeah.
And I think it would be excellent, though. What a good feature for if anyone wanted to climb across Sam's Mount Rush Horror. That would be the best bit. You could swing across it like gladiators.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, see, I've got a multi-textural.
It was a mask that scared you. See, I got scared of the video cover and I couldn't watch it. I was never allowed to watch it for Hellraiser 2.
I used to get spooked by the video cover, and then that was quashed as a teenager when he was at Memorabilia in Birmingham, and I saw Doug Bradley being cost conscious at an expensive convention by eating the pasta salad he'd brought with him. And I was like, that humanizes him a great deal. That's less scary now.
Straight out of the Tupperware, was it?
Straight out of the Tupperware?
Oh yeah.
I didn't stop to see if he brought a fruit shoot with him as well. It's the drinks that'll get you.
I've seen Sam. I've seen you commenting on Zara's posts about Tupperware. Haven't I?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just making sure that's what you mean when you call it, because you call it. What does she call it?
Tuppy. So have you seen the whole like Tuppy tours thing she used to do on Instagram?
No.
So it became a thing. She started, like, her and Rose would go to the cinema and they'd take a Tupperware tub with them of like different things, and then they'd show what was in the Tupperware tub and they'd rate each other's Tuppy.
Yeah.
So me and my friend started doing it as well in tribute to Zara and Rose, and they don't do them so much anymore. But me and my friend will still share our Tuppies. Oh, that's gotta be careful how you say that, haven't you? We still share our Tuppies on the internet.
I really didn't want to share a picture of my tattoo. I was really embarrassed about how it could be partaken. But we'll share the Tuppy as often as we need to.
Yeah.
Maybe we got Victor Crowley. We got Pinhead. Who's taking slot number 3?
God, Andy, stop getting us on track. I think Freddy Krueger. I think Freddy Krueger needs to be on there. Again, you could use some really cool mixed materials, and you could have actual blades coming out of the rock face.
Yeah. Jagged awesome. Rocks in case you fall on that climb straight onto his glove.
I was thinking just big pieces of metal, like big pieces of like iron or something. Oh no, iron would rust, wouldn't it? Stainless steel. I
think Freddy Krueger might be the character who's appeared the most on Mount Rush Horror. Liam picked him last week. He's
on mine.
He's cool. And I know we had this conversation, Ben, that like he's a pedo. He's a nonce. He's a child killer, but he's fucking cool, isn't he?
He's cool, isn't he?
It always comes up when we liked him before the reboot when he was overtly a pedo. When he just murdered kids, fine.
Absolutely
right. That's
fine.
One step too far.
Naughty. Like if you were friends with him, you would hope you would have a good enough relationship to bring it up with him and say, "Come on." Don't do that.
If you're friends with him, come on, that jumper don't suit you, mate. Come on, you
I
look ridiculous.
must have told you about this possibly on the podcast before, Ben. Once me and my friend Tom did a marathon of Nightmare on Elm Street films. Both had disturbing dreams about him. In mine, Freddy was after me, and then a swamp monster jumped up and threw spaghetti hoops all over him, and he got very upset that his jumper had been
Yeah, I
ruined.
remember you saying that, yeah.
I patted him on the back and said, "Don't cry, Freddy. We'll go down the Anchor side, downtown with Town Centre. We'll sort you a new jumper out." We did that. He was delighted, and then we were on our way to the baths for a swim. And then I woke up.
Wait, what was Freddy Krueger even wear?
Well, we didn't
Swimming.
get there, Ben. I can't tell you. I'd imagine that he'd have the same pattern as his
Dream up
jumper.
a fucking sequel.
Those
But as the
Victorian swimsuits.
Yes.
Those stripy long things. He'd have one of them, but red and green.
And a
Yeah,
The
little bonnet.
fedora.
Oh my god.
A fedora that he could put the goggles on the top and snap them round.
Jazzy.
Jazzy, incredibly jazzy.
Yeah.
It's a pretty terrifying Mount Rush horror so far, I will say, Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who's not a psychopathic killer.
No. I think the fourth one would have to be Belial, just because he's just a cute little guy, isn't he?
my
And can you
God,
imagine how delightful
good.
this is just for the visuals, how cute like a little blob of rock would be.
Would he
Just
be in a basket or
his
not?
little arms. No, he'd be free, as he deserves to be.
Belial. I think maybe the first mention of Belial on a Mount Rush horror, I think.
Yeah.
He deserves to be there. He's just a little guy. He likes hot dogs and burgers and screaming. Same.
Do you think that anyone would get into a bit of a faux pas by implying that maybe he and Freddy were related? And he'd be like, "I've been the victim of an accident." Like,
Wow. Belial was the victim of genetics. It wasn't his
Yeah.
fault. He was a deformed little blob.
Yeah.
A conjoined twin that got cut off and tossed asunder. It's not his fault.
No.
that's a real case of nurture versus nature, isn't it? He wasn't born bad, old
No,
Belial.
he wasn't. He
I'm
was
just
he was created that way.
He was. And in that we can see ourselves in Belial, right?
We can all see
I really
ourselves in
can see
Belial.
myself in
And then, although
He just
that's-
screams all the time and like, "Ah, it's me."
That's given me another inspiration. You know, everyone loves a versus movie. People who are, didn't ask for their circumstances, but then end up in that. How would you feel about a Belial versus Little Backwards Boy Gabriel movie?
Oh.
I love Gabriel.
That's pretty interesting. I like that.
You
I
have to
love
be careful if you're
Gabriel.
Belial, though, because I tell you what, if you're Belial, Gabriel's got an arm on him. We see him throw that chair.
Yeah. He's got creepy little hands, hasn't he? Hasn't he? I can't remember.
He's mostly in the back of her head, isn't he?
He is
So then he
mostly
can
in the back.
drive. He can
I mean,
drive her body.
he's technically got her hands, but they're like
Yeah.
backwards. Justice for Gabriel, because that's one of the greatest films ever made, and
Yeah.
it does not get the recognition it deserves. It's a
Yeah.
work of
He
art.
has got little arms. I've just had a little look. He's got little
Oh yeah,
T-Rex
when he
arms
was when he was on the back,
on the
yeah.
back, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those films, until the twist, I wasn't entirely sold. And then when the twist happened, I went, this is the greatest.
This has gone
thing
up
I've
by
ever
a star
seen.
and a half.
This has gone up by 3 stars. Like,
Yeah.
and I wish even though the twist was great, part of me wish I knew before, because I think I would appreciate everything else a little bit more.
Yeah, it was definitely one where a second watch, I was like, what was I thinking this first time through? This is great.
It's just ingenious, isn't it?
Old Backwards Boy Gabriel, though, they're not going to keep him in that mind palace forever. He's going to get out of there one of these days. Blumhouse will run low on money and he'll be back.
Can we have a sequel to that? Did Gabriel die? I can't remember.
Yeah, no, he's in a mind prison.
Oh yeah, he's in a mind palace. You're right.
Yeah, she sealed him in a mind jail.
Yeah. You can
They
easily
can't
I
keep
don't
him
like to
there
remember
forever.
that bit clearly. I'm like, I want him to be running around, living
Yeah.
his best life in a prison cell.
To be fair, if we can bring Freddy Krueger back to life by a dog pissing, we can bring Gabriel back to life.
A dog called
somehow.
Jason, no less.
A dog called Jason, exactly. There we go. That's a pretty horrific looking Mount Rush horror, but I like it. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What are you
Do a little bit of cheeky bit of horror news, Ben.
Yeah. got a little bit of horror news for us to cover just before we get into the main part of the episode. So, Texas Chainsaw Massacre TV show has been confirmed is in the works from A24. There's a new film also in development. I think that was already in development actually. But yeah, how does everybody think about this? What could a Texas Chainsaw Massacre TV show be? The life and times of
Can it
Leatherface.
be if we were to assume that the only ones which are canon are the first one and the reboot from the COVID era? Is it
Oh
just
yeah.
about Leatherface living a peaceful life in that orphanage and nothing going wrong
For 60 years, stood
for
in the
60
corner.
years?
Stood in the corner tensing. I
Yeah, just
mean,
to stay dead hard.
it's got like some producers from the 2022 one, so I'm assuming possibly yes. How did you feel about that 2022 Texas Chainsaw, Sam?
It was really fun. I didn't want to like it. I was like, this is gonna fucking suck. And I had a
Mm.
great time. The kills were spectacular. It did some stuff that I didn't expect it to do. It wasn't as formulaic as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be loads of teenagers getting murdered, and it was interesting. It kept me guessing. So I liked it. I'm all for the TV series, but not gonna lie, I want a Chop Top series. That's where my heart lies with TCM2,
Yeah.
and that's where I want the story to go.
TCM2 getting a hell of a lot of love recently. Liam again last week was talking about his enjoyment of
hmm
Texas Chainsaw Massacre
I know. I
2.
was like, "Yay, Liam! That's the best
Yeah.
one."
Maybe we need, well, we've never covered it on the podcast, so maybe we need to do it, Andy. We
Oh, I,
definitely need to do the next generation as well, the one
I
with
was texting Liam to say basically he's given us inspiration and he can come and do any of these films. Lots of franchises that we need to go back on. We were sending messages last week about Leprechaun 2, Ben. It's time. It's been a while since we did a Leprechaun movie.
It's been a
Liam is
long,
up
long
for a bit of
time.
Leprechaun 2, but mostly Liam is right up there among the higher echelons of guests we've had on the show for me because absolutely agrees with me about Congo's place on the show.
Yeah, exactly. He brought it up before I did, didn't he?
Yeah, straight
Yeah,
into
he did.
Congo.
Straight into Congo, yeah. I think I'm with you on that, Sam. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. I liked it. I think it was one that kind of mostly people weren't too keen on, but I was definitely a bit like, well, that's all right, isn't it?
I liked it all of its visuals. I liked the kills. I didn't like how culture warsy it is. It's like people above and below 30 will never be on the same page. Their conflict is inevitable. Um, and how basically the premise of this whole series of murder was going along was because somehow a real estate deal able to close without the proper paperwork. It took me right out of it. Like,
It was like in the middle of nowhere as well,
where's
wasn't
the deed? Well, it doesn't matter. This has been sold. What?
it?
Who's done your searches?
And legacy characters just getting killed immediately. I always find that a bit.
That
It
was a
gives,
bit upsetting.
yeah, it gives me the same feeling as Dick Halloran traveling all the way back to the
Don't.
Overlook Hotel
It's too soon.
just to get bloody axed to death.
Second he walks in the door.
He's got the shining. How have you not seen that coming?
There needs to be an earlier scene where it's like, oh, I've used up my shining for the day. No more until tomorrow, till I've had a long rest.
A little sit down and a cup of tea.
Yeah.
You couldn't do your spell slots, Dick. You're gonna have to have a rest before you do it. Right then. Thankfully, I'm going to a hotel. I'll have a rest and then I'll be able to do
I'll
the
have a rest in
shining.
a kip. Yeah, lovely.
Axed or croquet malleted, depending on your version.
Yeah, devastated.
You fought Pennywise, Dick.
You went toe to toe, bloody Pennywise, didn't you? Come
You
on.
made, just for a few minutes, you made an extra dimensional being think he was just a dude for a minute.
Yeah. What a moment.
And then you got hammered by a drunk, effectively.
Devastated. Okay. Linked to today's episode, Return to Silent Hill. Let's talk a little bit about Bloober Team because they've had a few updates about games. They are remaking Silent Hill 1. I think we knew that anyway because the
Yeah.
news came out this week. Oh, Konami confirms that new Silent Hill entry is in development. But I'm pretty sure we knew that anyway. Although a clarification has been announced that it's Silent Hill Townfall is the one that they're talking about. But they've also posted a mysterious update on their website, a countdown with a logo of a rose, and it's got everybody thinking that they might be remaking the game Rule of Rose, potentially.
Yes. Thank God, because I never got to finish that. and now it is too expensive on PlayStation
And
2.
now, if you want it on PlayStation 2, you have to pay like 900 quid or something like that. So, no, thank you.
Redo Haunting Ground for me as well, and I can finally redeem myself having sold my
yeah.
copy of that for less than it was worth.
Dude. Um, so yeah, looking forward to this because I mean, I loved the Silent Hill 2 remake. Did you finish the Silent Hill 2 remake, Andy?
No, Ben, I've not even had a chance to start it, but for once, slightly vindicated because I didn't do the step which I usually do, which is manage to buy it, but
You
not even
managed to
play
buy
it.
it, yeah.
I'm calling that progress in my life.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy it when I've got time to play it.
Yeah. So that means, we did you play the original, Andy?
Yes, that I
Yeah,
did
you
do.
did. Okay. So I'm just trying to work out. Obviously, when we get into discussing this film, Sam, you've already mentioned previously that you haven't played the game or the games. I've played the original and the remake. Andy has only played the original, so that give us a nice cross section of being able to work out if this film is any good or not. Surprise! Actually, I'm not going to spoil our opinion on it already. Not just yet. Last piece of horror news I've got. Although actually there is another piece of horror news that I did actually see. I don't know if you're going to mention it, Andy. Is it something about a film we've seen being released? I saw you post about it as well, Sam.
I have a few things about it. Are you going
Okay.
to talk about Broken Bird being released? They've got a few release dates.
I was going to talk about that very quickly. I'm going to mention so Darren Liz Bozeman. Is it Bozeman, the Saw 2 director? Bozeman. His film Twisted, starring Lauren Lavera, is set for release this month, so February the 6th. So we're only a couple of days out from that. I am hoping to get a chance to speak to the director very soon on an interview and talk about this film. I've seen it. I will say I really enjoyed it. So looking forward to talking to Darren about this. Yeah, that's going to be great. Any questions you want me to pass on, Sam, seeing as when you did a little gasp then?
Ask Boseman, will he be my friend?
Okay, I'll do
And
that.
tell him I love oh god, it's just fallen out of my brain now. Repo. Tell him I love Repo.
Yeah, Repo, of course.
Oh,
Oh
is
my
he
God.
behind Repo the Genetic Opera?
He was, yeah.
He directed that one.
Okay.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. Look out on the feeds for that as well, but also check out Twisted when it's released. I will say I'm not going to spoil anything in terms of Twisted, but I think it's not the Lauren Lavera performance is intense, like really intense, maybe even more intense than usual. And is it Digimon Honsu? Is that how you say his name? Again, I don't
Jimon
know.
Hansu, yeah.
Demon Honsu, that's it. Oh my God, he is very, very scary. Alicia Witt's in it as well, like seeing her pop up for the first time since Long Legs. Yeah, very intense. I can't really say much without spoiling the plot, but it gave me vibes of a few different things, including The Skin I Live In. That's the last thing I'll say on that. But yeah, you're going to mention Broken Bird being released as well.
Yes, Broken Bird. I mean, I've got a few dates for your diary. I've been keeping up with our release window things. If you don't mind pulling up the US release date of Broken Bird, Ben, when I rattle through a few others.
Yep.
Films you will have heard us talk about, everybody, from the festival circuits that are getting more releases coming to you soon. Sam, I will turn for you for reactions if you've seen any of these as well. Kill Your Lover is out. We saw it at Fright Fest Glasgow a couple of years ago now. It's out. It's come to Shudder February 9th. So this very week, well, not very long away now, about a week out until that
Monday,
comes
I
out.
think
I
that
really
is.
enjoyed that. Not just because I had dogs named after two lead characters in it. Coming up very soon, Redux is going to be out on streaming in the UK on video on demand on the 23rd of Feb. One of my films of the year last year. Really excited to see it again. Ben, you are hoping to see it for the first time, right?
Yep. Looking forward to seeing that for the first time.
I
Absolutely.
haven't seen it yet either.
No, I
So
missed it.
good. I loved it so much. Dolly that we saw from Fright Fest Halloween last year is at UK cinemas, getting a cinema release on March 6th.
Hell yeah. Love a bit of Dolly. With
Yeah.
who else is in it?
Ace.
Sean William Scott.
Sean William Scott, yeah.
Yeah.
Ben, I know you love a documentary. It was also a documentary that featured in Emma's films of the year from last year when she joined us. The Last Sacrifice is coming to Shudder on Feb 26th.
Very nice. I've seen that. It's very good.
And
good.
a whole mess of things coming across. So across the UK at various locations between the 6th of Feb and the 31st of March, the Japan Foundation Festival is coming to cinemas across the country. a ton of movies from different genres featuring the cinema of Japan, which I know you're a big fan of, Ben.
Mm.
Sam, how are you with your J horror or Japanese movies in general?
I do like some J horror, and I'm a Studio Ghibli fan as well.
Oh yeah.
I'm not an anime fan, but I'm a Studio Ghibli fan, so
Mm.
So there is
chance
going
to
to be
see any
so
of those on the
much.
big screen would be lovely.
So much of those come around. One in particular, a horror feature called "Missing Child" videotape, that we will hopefully get the chance to catch a little bit early and possibly meet some of the team behind in the coming weeks.
Yeah. Looking forward to
Keep me
that.
posted on how that develops. We're in early discussions at the moment, but the festival starts really soon. We will put a link in the show notes. If you're in the
Mm.
UK and there is a showing near you, there are worse ways to spend a weekend. I imagine some of the films on there look really exciting. We'll post over that over there. Ben, while I was filling the time, did you manage to get the Broken Bird release date up? I didn't have it written down.
Yes, I did. Broken Bird, US theatrical release, April 24th. That's my daughter's birthday.
Oh,
Um, yeah, so check that out if you're on the other side of the pond to us. That opened Fright Fest, didn't it? Not
that
last year, year
opened Fright
before.
Fest two
Yeah.
years ago, yeah.
Rebecca Calder, she popped up in the latest Conjuring movie as well, didn't she?
And Mission Impossible, is that right?
Oh yeah. No, that was Tom Cruise.
Yeah, oh, I always get those two mixed up.
Come
Yeah,
on, Tom. Uh, yeah. I mean, that's it. That's it then for horror news.
lots and lots of exciting stuff coming out.
Absolutely. Okay, so now let's talk about what we've been watching, anything we've seen in the last 7 days, or for you, Sam, of course, because you're not on the show every week. Beyond that, have you seen anything recently, horror or horror adjacent, that you'd like to recommend?
Yeah, I need to get my letterbox up because I've got a very small brain. But I saw Sent Help on Monday. That was good fun.
Yes, Sam
Um,
Raimi.
I definitely think it's more of a action adventure with horror elements than a horror
Mm,
movie. Um, that doesn't color my opinion of the film. I thought it was great. Like
mm.
really good 4-star movie. Um,
Have I heard
but
some
yeah, not
comparisons to Misery? Sorry to interrupt there, Sam. I've heard some comparisons to Misery. I've heard some people saying that.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry,
It's
I've really thrown you off with that.
no,
Apologies.
no, it's fine. I was just trying to think. I was trying to think what I could
Yeah, I
say
guess so.
without like spoiling things. But
Kathy Bates comes out of the jungle with a sledgehammer, hobbles them both.
Yeah.
that'd be so good. No, it was really good. It was really fun. Someone said to me before I saw it that it was more akin to Drag Me to Hell than anything else, and
Okay.
Drag Me to Hell is one of my favorites. I didn't get that vibe from the film, but like some moments of it gave me
Yeah.
Drag Me to Hell vibes. But what else have I been watching? I saw Anaconda on the weekend. That was fun. I saw Bulk, the new Ben Wheatley. That was
Oh
really
yeah,
Did you
that
good.
go to
looks really interesting.
It
Definitely, yeah.
is bizarre.
Ben Wheatley does Bizarre so well.
It is very strange. It was as if Monty Python made a really weird 50s B movie.
Oh my God.
It was very
Did you go to
strange.
a screening of that? Is that right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
They had one in Bristol. You should have gone, Ben.
I didn't even know that. Oh my
Yeah, it
God.
was it was last weekend. I think the Cardiff one was Thursday and the one in Bristol was on the Sunday. I think it's in
Must
the
have been touring this
Was
watershed.
weekend.
it Watershed? Oh,
Yeah.
I've only got myself to blame for that.
Yeah, it was on at the
Missing
DCA
that.
while I was away as well, so I missed it. But
Massive
But I
apparently
mistake.
think
they're
he
going
might be
well.
touring again because he posted something that said something like leg one or part one of the tour. So I'm assuming he's
Yeah, I think I
gonna
saw that.
bring it
Yeah.
round again. So yeah, he was a little sweet baby angel. I thought he was gonna be a scary man, but he's adorable.
Yeah, I've heard he's lovely.
He was lovely.
Anaconda. I'll just
Yeah,
because I saw that as well this week. Um, what were your thoughts on that? I know you said it was fun, but
I loved it. It was so stupid.
it was
I
very
don't think
stupid.
I've ever seen the original Anaconda. I just assumed I had, but I
Oh
don't think I've
no,
Oh,
seen
you're
it.
missing a treat then, Sam,
Andy!
because that
Someone
is.
does the accent in this film. They
Do they?
Paul Rudd does an impression of John Voight's character
Of
in
course, upon
Anaconda,
the
which I feel like in our episode that was all we did. So in a way, I feel like we've inspired this film. I just find it so weird. I still find it. I thought I'd watch the film and it would make sense to me, but I still find it so weird that it exists. This new
Yeah.
Anaconda. I did find it funny. I was laughing a lot at lots of different things. But I don't know. A lot of people were saying it was, oh, it's great and stuff like that. And I feel like it did leave me wanting a bit more. There's a couple of cameos. I won't necessarily mention what those cameos are, but like both of those moments were pretty cool. I
I
feel
did a
like,
little scream.
yeah,
Did a little scream
little
and clapped
screamed.
like a seal in the cinema.
Yeah.
Um, it didn't seem to have much of a response from the other cinema goers, but it was a
Yeah.
Sunday
Oh,
morning,
it
so
was very
maybe they weren't.
exciting. It was very exciting to see these particular cameos,
Hmm.
definitely. But yeah, I think I kind of had a little bit of, I had fun with it, and it was, yeah, it was silly. It was very silly, wasn't it? And to be fair, I like Paul Rudd and I like Jack Black as well. So if it was someone else, I probably would be a bit like, oh, I don't like this, but they're just so they're just so easy to watch, aren't they? Those two,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and
And
especially,
I could take my kid to it. It was,
yeah,
Okay, so
there's
it's
not
quite
much I can take my
accessible for
kid
young horror
to.
viewers.
Yeah.
yeah. It's a 12A, isn't it? Was it 12A?
Okay.
I guess it
Yeah,
was.
12A.
Yeah.
There were some really little kids there. They were like families with like 6 and 7 year olds, and I was like, that's a choice.
A snake just ate that man. Yeah. Anything else, Sam?
Yeah. So I saw Rabbit Trap again last week, which is
Very
beautiful. I
nice.
don't know if you guys saw that at Grimfest, but it is
Yes, we
beautiful.
didn't get to Grimfest. We caught a screener, but
I saw the screener as well.
it was really good. I really thought it was like a very. I love folk horror done well, and like I'm not universally into them. They can catch me or they can lose me, and this was definitely the former. I think I
Mm.
really got sucked into the mystery, and the reveal was really compelling.
Yeah,
It had
definitely.
it had a very limited cinema run this week, so it might be in a cinema near you, like for a day or two more. If you get to see it with like the big sound system, do it.
Yeah.
Because if
Oh
honestly, it
yeah,
felt like
music related.
watching it
Yeah.
for the first time again, watching it in a cinema this week. It was really lovely. And I'm
Mm.
just sad it's only had a week. A week is
Yeah.
better than nothing, but I feel like it's the kind of film that needs to be out for a bit longer so that word of mouth can spread a bit more and people will get a chance to go and see it because I don't feel like I hear anyone talking about it. And it's definitely a film for people like me who like their wanky, artsy folk horrors.
Yeah.
Um, but give people a chance to go see it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
give
Have it out a
films a
bit
chance to
longer.
find their audience, right? I think we're
Yeah.
so obsessed with let's get this on streaming tomorrow and all those other things. Probably a nice segue. And I don't believe any of us have seen it, but leaning into horror news a little bit as well. Iron Lung, the Markiplier film, which has been self-funded by, don't get me wrong, a more successful YouTuber than us. He's managed to find, he has the money to be able to have put behind this film and get it off the ground. But seeing his little face, I don't watch much long play stuff on thingy, but like seeing someone who's put this work together and seeing his reaction to showing that they have had such chart success, what quadrupled their budget easily. By now, it's made 20 odd million over in the box office, and seeing films like this go from having a really limited number of screenings to seeing cinemas say, actually, there's demand for this, we're picking it up and we're extending its run. The fact that I haven't got a chance to see it yet, and I was able to check at my cinema, and it's already been extended through next week. So I will
Mm.
hopefully get the chance to see it. It kind of shows that if films are given the space and aren't gate kept out of the cinemas and given the chance to actually give people the chance to go and see them, that people will show up for stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. I'll mention. Was that everything, Sam? Have you seen anything else you wanted to
I
mention?
mean, I've always seen more things.
We
I'm
could
just
keep going
quickly
forever.
quickly checking if there's like anything um in particular other than Bone Temple, which I enjoyed your episode on Bone Temple. That was good fun.
Thank you very
Um,
much. We had great fun
Thank you.
recording that one.
but yeah, I've seen it twice and I might go and see it again for a third time before it goes out the
Yeah.
cinema.
I've only seen it once. I kind of feel like I want to see it again.
Oh, it definitely like watching the second time when you know what's coming,
Mm.
delightful.
So delightful.
You'll see him and go, that's Ian. You don't have to
Yeah.
He's
tell me
called
his name.
he's called Ian, this guy.
And you're
I-
just waiting for those lines then that you know, like the I don't want to say that line that he says, but probably your cinema cheers when he's like, no charge, just that. I'll just say just that bit, and everyone in the cinema when I saw it went yay. So
Yay!
those moments are coming, and they're more delicious when you know to
They
expect
had
them.
televisions on their tums. I'll mention just two things I've seen before we carry on. So the documentary, The Big Picture, which is all about the Bristol Mega Screen or the former Bristol IMAX. I watched that. It's now streaming on a platform called Kinema with a K. The reason I mention it is because it's obviously there's a lot about the beginning, so the history of the screen, the history of cinema in Bristol, but also how Forbidden Worlds Film Festival came to be. Obviously, we've attended Forbidden Worlds Film Festival, genre films on that big old IMAX screen. A lot of stuff about 20th century flicks as well, which me and Andy have paid a visit to.
Yeah, been in there,
Yeah,
had a look at the cinema room.
exactly. So, any fans of anything like that, just go and check it out. It's great. It's great to see like Bristol film and Bristol cinema sort of being celebrated, and kind of like loads of really great people involved with how the fact that Forbidden Worlds Film Festival kind of kicked off what is now that screen gets used for loads of little film festivals and loads of little film events and screenings. It's great because Bristol hasn't had a screen like that for a long time. I know that Odeon's just about to open up, but this is like something where that's obviously like a mainstream cinema. This is going to be something for a chance to see Evil Dead 2 or Poltergeist on a screen that big, which I will say both times was great. And obviously I've been to the event a lot more since. So yeah, check that out. I think it's a pay what you want sort of rental thing on Kinema currently. We'll put links in the show notes. We've actually posted on our socials recently as well. There is also a live action trailer for Resident Evil Requiem, which I saw. It's called Evil Has Always Had a Name. It's 3 minutes long. It stars Micah Monroe of It Follows and Longlegs. And I'm going to quote something you said, Andy, which when you commented a little bit earlier on Instagram, it has more emotional weight than anything Resident Evil live action ever before, right?
I was
In
more
three
subtle
in
than that,
three
Ben.
minutes. In
Yeah,
what was
I
that?
think I think I said I've seen more emotional rate weight from this short than in this than I've seen in feature films. Some that I've seen quite recently.
Oh, that's what you said. So you didn't mean Resident Evil in general, but I'm sure it applies to that, right?
Um, yes, to a degree.
Yeah, I think it
I'm
does.
talking. I might be talking a little bit closer to home. No spoilers.
Oh, okay. I got you. I got you. Um, I don't know. Did you guys did you see this, Sam?
No, I'm a strict no trailers girly. I am the person who closes their eyes and puts their headphones on in the cinema when trailers
Yeah.
come on. So
I
I
think
have not seen it.
treat this as a short, I would. It's a
Yeah,
nice
I don't
little
think it's any. I don't think it's
no.
any footage at all. I think it is a. It looks like the classic, the George A. Romero Resident Evil 2 like promotional short that they
Yeah.
recorded
From the
years ago.
90s.
I think they've got back into the business of we've got a new Resident Evil coming out. Let's have a big name, like a big creator, and do like a couple of minutes short that is just
Yeah.
to get people talking about this. There's nothing of the actual
Yeah.
game or film in it, I don't think.
I think you would just treat it as like a little short about a zombie apocalypse. That's kind of it. But yeah, really, really emotional, really hard hit. And I thought it looked great. It just made me think, oh, give me a whole bloody feature length version of this, for
Yeah,
God's sake. I'd love that.
good. It was good.
It was good, yeah.
I've not seen all the Resi
It's
films.
okay. It's not necessary.
You
I've
definitely don't
only
need to
seen
see.
half of the first one.
What happened? What happened halfway
I,
through?
I think I just went, I'm tired, I'm going to bed. I'll
Yeah,
watch this again later and just never
yeah.
did.
Just never
I'd
did.
say if you watched every other Resident Evil film, I mean, I just wouldn't. Don't bother. The first one may be all right. But yeah.
Get a
Anything
long play of the game cutscenes on, that'll do.
exactly. Andy, have you what do you want to talk about?
Couple of things, Ben. Obviously, I did a little bit of flying, which means I can watch films as the directors truly intended on a little 6-inch screen.
Hell
Um,
yes.
a couple of films. I mix my genres up, but there are a couple of horror adjacent things I watched. Not overtly so much. One, I think, I've had a couple of weeks of the real life scaries. I watched Last Breath, which is a documentary about a guy who is a deep sea diver, like a proper deep sea diver, where you go down in a bell in the North Sea, and he gets trapped underwater with 30 minutes of air left
Oh,
for about an hour and a half.
what does he do? Just really slow
Incredible
breaths.
story. It's a true story. Watch it or read the
Oh my
document. Or
God.
there's so there is this film, loads and loads of British actors and Woody Harrelson in it.
Oh yeah. I think I
But
know
there's also
exactly
a
what you mean
documentary
now.
that you can watch. Incredible, incredible true story. Not horror in the sense of there's a ghoulie down there, it's going to get you, but it is horrific. I can't think of anything worse than being like trapped under the sea
No.
with not much air. I also watched. Funnily enough, I'd seen the pseudo sequel to it earlier, Searching, the John Cho film, the Screen movie. Have either of you seen
Oh
that?
yeah. Yeah, I've seen this. And what's the sequel called?
Missing,
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
where it's that is a young girl whose mom goes missing, and she like gets the help of a task bunny, like a task rabbit, like driver in the local city to try and find where her mom's been kidnapped to. But this one is about a guy whose daughter has gone missing. The guy who popularized the term MILF is doing something a little bit more serious this time round and looking for his
Yeah.
missing daughter in a screen movie. A good little thriller.
Yeah, it's good.
Tell you what, it goes from being me thinking smart ass sitting on the plane going, I've rumbled this. I know what it is already going, what?
Yeah.
I did not see this coming.
The
It was
MVP is that dude, the dude who does the like why would you describe him? The guy who like picks up the phone and is he doing deliveries or something like that? Is that guy?
I can't think of who you're thinking of.
Oh right, maybe I'm thinking of
That's
maybe
the other one. The guy who picks up the phone and
yeah.
that's missing.
That's missing. Oh no, I've got me
Yeah.
missing and my searching mixed up.
Yeah, you got you missing these
Classic.
searching, all muddled. I saw one more thing, Ben, which was a real life horror. You may have seen it as well, but I want to give this a little review because it was sent to us by the good folks at Lightbulb Entertainment. Have you got round to seeing Grizzly Night?
Yep.
So Grizzly Night is directed. It's a film from this year, directed by Buck Doran. August the 12th, 1967, in Montana's Glacier National Park, the unthinkable happened. On the same night, 9 miles apart, there were not one but two fatal grizzly attacks. And I had somehow missed in the brief when I started this that holy shit, this is a real thing that happened.
It's a true story, yeah.
Yeah.
It is
So
indeed.
I sat down to watch this thinking, okay, it's a little bit more of a sedate animal attack film than your Deep Blue Seas, than your what's a bear related one, then Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine bear.
There is no cocaine involved in this one that we see, even though
What?
well, it's because it's in the 70s, not the 80s now. Give it a few years. But, you know, you have to look at these things through a different lens, I guess. Like, we have to have a slightly different pacing because if it was insane over the top action, you're kind of being disrespectful to the real people that were attacked and lost their lives in this story. But it is still quite a harrowing movie. There are some moments where talk about the terror of being in a horrible situation, trapped under the sea. A similar situation. Can you imagine being out camping and waking up and there's a bear sniffing around by your legs? The
Immediately do you immediately saw yourself or is that something you
I think that is recommended to avoid a bear escaping, to avoid a bear eating you. But there's even in the opening scenes, this film does the smart bit where it doesn't have necessarily a slow start. It gives us a Boy Meets World. I bet you're wondering how I got here.
Hmm.
Opening where we start with a cold open where a couple is waking up in the middle of the night, and then you see the one of the partners saying like desperately whispering to her boyfriend to play dead.
play dead or soil yourself? I'm gonna
Yeah,
pre-soil myself, I think,
and then they get
before I go to sleep, just in case.
still get slapped off. Well, it's the advice, isn't it, Ben? So brown lie down, black fight back, white you're fucked.
Oh,
That's how
I
you
wouldn't
deal with different
remember that
bears.
though. In that moment, I wouldn't remember it. I'd either get it ass backwards or I'd go, well, fight back, just regardless.
Yeah, only
Oh
fight
no.
black bears. For brown bears, you need to lie down and pretend to be dead. And if there are white bears, aka polar bears, there's nothing you can do. Give up.
You're done. You're done
Yeah.
And
for.
if you're a girl, you try and make friends with the bear and go and live in the cave together.
Yeah.
Maggie Simpson style.
That's what I do.
Want a little bit of honey? Especially if a bear
Yeah,
attacks you and he's wearing a t-shirt and no trousers. You
Oh, Winnie.
pervert.
Yeah, I enjoyed this. I got a bit of it. Like I say, it's not your Hollywood action epic. It has the pacing of a real life, but there's a dramatization of real events, bits to enjoy. And did you see a certain familiar, pretty sexy face we're going to be seeing back on screens pretty soon, Ben, when you watched it?
It was the guy from The Mummy, wasn't it?
It is.
Yeah. Do you remember what his name is? The sort of
His name is Oded Fair.
yeah,
Is
that's
the
it.
actor's
He's
name.
in
Sexy
Resident Evil.
Oded.
He's in Resident Evil films, wasn't he? As Carlos.
He is. He's Carlos in that, but of course, in fact, it sounds a little bit like where Sam goes to the cinema. She told us earlier.
What's that?
Ardith Bay, spelt differently, but you could be forgiven if you were mumbling.
I
Ardith
never
Bay.
said what.
Ardith Bay is the Magi from the Mummy, but he's just
Oh,
doing
yeah,
some
yeah,
doctor
yeah.
work in this one, helping some kids not die of bear injuries as best he can.
So no one gets wazzed into a tree in a sleeping bag, prophecy style.
No, that doesn't happen to anyone. It's more harrowing, mulched up by a bear as you might be in real life, kind of
Both
thing. But
pretty
again,
harrowing, isn't it? Both pretty
yeah,
harrowing.
still,
It
in many
kind of
ways, being pulverized against a tree would be a slightly more pleasant death.
yeah. It did remind me a little bit of the documentary Grizzly Man as well, which I feel like is the most terrifying,
Yeah,
well, harrowing bear on film thing.
yeah. And the things that get me, I guess we don't have to treat this in the same way as we would with spoilers with a a narrative film because this is a thing that happened. It's news. The thing that really got me is that I watched the movie and you see the 999 levels of harrowing with the real life sort of traumas of people getting into terrible situations and how the authorities and the rescue workers tried to get around that. And then the thing that really got me was the messaging towards the end, which was like because these two people were killed, bears were basically fucked and were almost hunted to extinction until someone passed a law just in time to stop them being shot. Yeah, awful. I was definitely left like scarred by the
Yeah.
event, but not a bad watch for me
When is this out for anybody else to see?
right now.
Right, bloody now. Go and get yourself
Yeah,
some.
came out. Comes out this week, so yeah, it's ready for you to watch.
Go and have yourself a Reek Grizzly night. Is that all you've seen?
That is all I have seen. I've been seeing a bit more, Ben, but I'm saving some up to portion them out for a little
Yeah,
bit. So
that
I'll have
makes
another week where
sense.
it's quiet.
Don't want to overdo it, do you?
No,
Okay. So on to the film of the week, the main event. I know this is what Sam's been looking forward to the most.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed. It is a film. Do you know what? A film we've mentioned on this podcast lots and lots. We've mentioned when trailers came out, when release dates came out, and everything like that. And we're finally getting around to it. It is Return to Silent Hill. And that is a 2026 supernatural psychological horror film written and directed by Christophe Gans. And it's based on it's loosely based on a 2001 video game, Silent Hill 2. It's the third Silent Hill film, and it says here it's a reboot, but it feels like it's like a separate story. I feel like it doesn't necessarily have to be
Mhm.
a reboot, doesn't it? We've covered the original Silent Hill on this podcast. We've covered Silent Hill Revelation. Is that right? Is that the
Yes.
next one? Yeah, we've
I'm
covered
glad
that.
you said it. I would have never been able to pull it by myself.
No. You've seen both the other films, Sam?
I haven't. I was listening to one of your newest episodes the other day and I was like, oh shit, there's another one I haven't seen. I haven't seen Revelation. I didn't even know it existed.
Revelation is a bit iffy.
Jon Snow is
Okay.
it in it, isn't he? As a lovely soft boy that turns out to be a wrong un.
Yeah, Jon Snow. Yeah, there's a lot. They
Not the
really lean in-
newsreader.
They
I was
really
going to say
lean
to the newsreader.
What are you doing here? It really leans into the cult stuff, doesn't it, in the first one and Revelation as well. Okay, so Return to Silent Hill, IMDb 4.2 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes,
Generous.
17% critic score, 29% audience score. On Letterboxd, 1.6 out of 5. Some choice reviews from Letterboxd. Katie is Pog says, As a horror movie, it's generic and hardly scary besides jump scares. As a Silent Hill adaptation, it was made following the blueprint of someone who didn't understand the point of Silent Hill. 2.5 stars. Kyle says, bloody hell, Kyle. Return to Silent Hill is honestly a pretty good adaptation of Silent Hill 2. 3.5 stars. Chromatic Neon says, a fast and simplified story of slow and complex material, 2.5 stars. And Ace says, they should make a video game out of this film, 0.5 star. What a funny guy Ace is. Oh yeah, so I guess we kick off with. So, Sam, you mentioned that you haven't seen you haven't seen either of the other films, or just
I've
the
seen the
last one?
first one. I've seen
Seen
the
the
first
first
one,
one.
just not Revelation.
First one's all right.
I love the first one.
Yeah, I like the first one. First one's great. You like the first one, Andy?
Yeah, I like it. It's been a while since I've seen it,
I
but
think it's good.
I think I liked it well enough. I like it when that person outside the church gets torn in half and skinned for no reason. I like
Oh
that.
yeah, she gets skinned. Well, it's got like
Rabbit.
two. I think it's got two of like absolutely horrible, horrific moments. That stick with me now. The stat bit with the skin, and also bloody old Sybil getting burnt to death.
Hung
Literally, it's
over
like
a fire.
hung over a fire and just burnt to death, and it's just horrible. It goes on forever.
Oh, I
Does
thought you were
break
going to
this.
say the Evil Dead moment with the barbed wire.
It's also horrible.
What bit is that?
That's what it's the bit with Alice Krieg's character gets like pulled up in the air with
Oh,
the
of course.
barbed wire and then
Oh
split in
yeah.
two.
Oh my God, you're right.
Horrible.
But he torn
Horrible.
asunder.
Yeah, I forgot about that bit.
I mean, the film does break a cardinal rule of cinema, though, doesn't it? Sean Bean's alive at the end.
Or is he?
A film where most people die. Sean Bean, one of the only ones rocking, only because he spends the entire film doing admin, not in Silent Hill.
He's just at home the old time, isn't he? I think like the first film captures the vibe of the games pretty well, and I guess because it doesn't try to actively develop the story of one of the games. I know it's got a bit of the story in it, a bit. I think it does well. I think where this film falls apart is it's kind of trying to develop the story of the second game, and it simplifies it big time, and it's just a bit, yeah. But yeah, Revelation is pretty shit. But yeah, what were your initial thoughts of this one then, Sam?
Well, reading out the letterbox, I gave it 1 star, and all I've written on letterbox is woof. I took a note. I took my little wanker notepad into the cinema with me and took notes, and I've got about 4 sides of notes that I was scribbling away. And I haven't been able to bring myself to actually write any more than just woof, because I thought, one, I don't want to revisit it, and two, I'm gonna keep the scathing energy for you guys as a little
Yeah.
treat for you.
Please
Sam,
keep that
I think you
scathing
could
energy.
leave that review there. I know you've mentioned you haven't played the games. That review will actually play very well with the deep lore Silent Hill folks, because there is, in most Silent Hill games, there is a good ending, there is a miserable ending, there is a slightly happier ending that you can play if you do certain things in the game. And in all of them, there is also a stupid ending where, like, if you've played the game through a few times, you can do some random things and it gives you a ridiculous ending. The joke ending to Silent Hill 2, or maybe it's the first one, in one of the early Silent Hill
it's
films,
this
there
one,
is a
yeah.
joke ending where you find your way behind the scenes of the town, and a naughty dog, is pulling levers to make all the bad things
No
happen. The
way.
dog is the true villain. So for deep lorers, they'll read that review
Yeah.
and be like,
They'll
Sam
think
gets
I'm
it.
real
Woof.
smart.
They'll
Yeah.
be like, they've done it.
There we go. They'll go, she knows what's going on.
Woof. She's behind it all. She
There's-
knows.
Obviously, there's a UFO ending as well where James gets beamed up
Oh,
at the end.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's lots of endings. So yeah, like I think Silent Hill 2 is probably like the best one of all the games, and it's the one most people think is the best one. I think is the most critically acclaimed because there's all these themes of like grief and all these kind of like what the monsters represent, and James's story is really complex, and you're kind of like unpicking this mystery along with him. And you know, it's interesting because like the main character, the protagonist, changes as the sort of game goes on, where you're a bit like, do I trust this person? Is this person this? Is this person that? And obviously all of the characters and their traumas are there in the game. And again, like you play the game and you play it for like, 12, maybe 18 hours. So there's so much more there that you can unpick all these little things you kind of all the different monsters, all the different conversations with the various characters, to have that just shoved into like an hour and a half or an hour and 45 minutes, and really, really simplified. Just it does make it just a bit silly, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Like there are things that you would consider silly in the game, but because you spend so much time with the characters and going through this process, it doesn't feel as silly. And the reveals that happen are incredibly shocking. Whereas I think in this film, it tries to signpost those reveals really early on,
Yeah.
by zooming in onto Pyramid Head's eye, and you go, "Oh yeah, I wonder who that could be."
Oh God, anytime there's a actually before I say anything else, you almost caught me off guard. I almost started then, Ben. Before I say anything else, any criticism that I am about to level at this film is not a criticism of the individuals that I'm sure worked very hard to make it. I bet their nanas are very proud of them.
He's so
And
lovely, isn't he, this guy.
you've got to you got to go out there and try some stuff. With that out the way, fucking hell, fuck me dead, Ben. There are some choice moments in this film. Like there are some choices that happened here. The the idea to do one violent dismembering scene stylistically reflected in the eyeball of another character is something quirky that you're trying out. To do it two, possibly three times in different scenes is an illness. Like what is happening? There are some and I took a look at this. I mean, I also want to be mindful of before we go into any individual things. Obviously, films cost money to make. The budget of this film, I understand, was $23 million, which is around half of a bribe to a government administration to buy a cobbled together documentary, which, in some ways is not that much money, but it's still more money than I believe Godzilla Minus One cost to make. So you can make a good film with less money. When I see what is on screen here, I don't necessarily know where $23 million went in particular when we know what can be
Wigs.
achieved. Yeah, wigs.
Wigs and
Actually,
beards.
yeah. Did they cost $23 million though on wigs and beards?
Yes.
I feel like you would have had change for a Macca's and from a tenner. And when we look at the cast there, do I think a lot of $23 million went to our leading pair whose higher items on their letterbox includes X-Men, Dark Phoenix, and Baghead? I don't think they're commanding that kind of a salary that didn't leave them enough money to do
The thing
something
is, we
else
had
visually.
we had pretty. Well, I didn't feel too hopeful about this ever since I saw what they'd done to James Sunderland. That they made him look a bit flash, a little bit like a magician. He's driving a lovely car, which I was like, what? That doesn't really make sense. And again, it's an adaptation of something that already exists.
That's where the money went, the car.
The
That's where the
car.
money went in the car.
They
And
show you the
crashed
car
it.
a lot as if to show
It's
you
a
like
Mustang,
this
isn't
is
it?
where
They
the
show-
money went.
The Mustang gets more screen time than Pyramid Head.
He
The,
does.
the Mustang, they zoom in on the logo. There's a bit, spoilers, of course, but there's a bit where the car's underwater later on, and we're just lingering on the steering wheel. And also, I don't know about you, but if I was an artist as my profession, I'd drive around with all my artist stuff in the back seat at all times, so people knew.
Not in the boot, which you do have.
Or in a carry case so they don't blow away or get shat on by birds or
Yeah.
rained on.
It's rained on when you're driving your open top car.
Yeah. And of course, we all spoil this, but I will say that so far, I know we're in January. No, sorry, February. We're in February, and I shouldn't really say this, but my most vomit-inducing cinema moment so far of the year was the reveal of that gravestone. Oh my God.
You ever need a Scrooge gravestone?
God. Oh my fucking God. I was literally like, oh, for fuck's sake, come on. Come on. Is that really what you're doing? That is disgraceful.
Maybe
I'm
James
sorry.
has got more self-control than I have here, but if I was to meet someone who didn't just have a passing resemblance to, but was the spitting image of my dead wife.
Because the thing is, in the game, it's a bit like, oh, it's a bit like, oh, is this like a dream? This is a bit weird. This is a bit strange. Kind of looks like her, different hair, same sort of face, but we don't really rely on James. It's almost like, as the narrator, he's unreliable, isn't he? So we kind of think, oh, what's going on here? We understand that from the get go. Whereas in this, she just turns up looking immaculate after being in Silent Hill for like
Hey,
months.
me. Yeah, it's me, your dead wife. But if I was dressed to be in a 90s sci-fi show,
Yeah, because there's loads in the game which is like that is almost like the way he perceives wanting his wife to be because his wife was
yeah.
terminally ill.
Oh, I love my wife, but I wish she was a member of the Venga Boys.
Which one? The cowboy.
The cowboy.
Have you got any can you elaborate on Wolf at all, please, Sam? I want to pull some of that vitriol out of you immediately from the get-go.
Yeah, like Andy said about like being nice. I never want to be negative about films because it's something that people have put their heart and soul into and they pour out into the world. But honestly, it was like the people who made this film had never fucking seen a film before. Um, I try to like bear in mind that it may be lost on me as someone who's not played the games. Um, I had a vague knowledge of the plot.
Mm,
Not that I would have been able to follow the plot from the film. Um, but it didn't feel like anything happened.
mm.
I just felt like I was watching lackluster, um, I can't think of the word I want to say, set pieces. Like it was just moving from set piece to set piece, and they were just boring. And it felt like we had the recognizable IP things like the nurses and Pyramid Head like slotted in to be like, look,
Mm.
it's that guy from the film slash games you like. And again, that could be down to budget, but you could do a lot with the story and it was boring. Like you said about the whatever her name was when she turned up. I can't even remember anyone's names. Um Straight away
Maria,
when
isn't it?
why is his wife got a different like she's got different hair. So clearly this is someone who looks like his wife, but he didn't even blink. He didn't even go.
He didn't, did he?
The
Hang on a
fact he
minute.
just was just like, "Hello, nice to meet you.
You'd
Let's
go,
go do
what
some
the
stuff."
actual fuck, wouldn't you?
You'd freak
Excuse
out.
me, I've got to stare at this static on this video screen and have a vision. Be with you in a minute.
Yeah.
It
I
just
think I agree with you there, Sam. I think I was just bored. I feel like when you get to a point where you're like, how long's left? How long has it been? That is when you know that you're locked, that it's lost you, essentially, isn't it?
Yeah, I considered actively having a nap rather than like fighting to stay awake in the cinema. I was like, I might just close my eyes for a minute and have a little sleep.
Yeah.
But I was with my friends, so I was like, well, I can't talk about the movie with them at the end if I've slept through it, so I
Mm.
guess I better stay awake. But if I was on my own, I would have actively just gone to sleep.
What do you think about that part where the dog was in charge all the old time? Yeah, that was great. I love that bit.
And you'd be like,
That
oh,
didn't
that makes
happen.
sense at last.
Yeah, it was just
That would have made more sense.
it would have
Yeah.
made more sense, wouldn't it? It felt like sort of a daytime soap at times, a
Hmm.
little bit daytime soapy. Andy, I think you texted me and said this is like a school play, or it was like a school play.
Yeah,
And I'm
there are
like,
bits of
yeah,
it
I kind of got
that are
that.
like a school play.
The thing is, it is a weird, it's a weird game. If you look at it and you go, it's not like the most cinematic game. I mean, it is cinematic, but I wouldn't watch it and go, oh, this would translate great to a film. It's a really weird experience. You're kind of like, you're in the same headspace as James, where you're like, you don't really know what's going on. It's like a very dreamy, very weird. All of the dialogue is a bit like, I like to say it's M. Night Shyamalan, where the way M. Night Shyamalan writes dialogue, which is like now nobody speaks. It's like people are immediately telling you something, I don't know, personal about themselves. People don't speak like that. It's a bit like that in the game. And I feel like some bits they tried to translate directly, and that just didn't work because now, for the general cinema goers, not just Silent Hill fans, but people are going to be like, what's going on here? It feels odd. Something's off. I feel
You
like I'm
need to.
watching. I feel like I'm watching Doctors on BBC Two. Rest in peace, Doctors is gone now.
Has it? Oh, no, this is a way for me to
Get
find out.
in.
Um, yeah,
Sorry.
it's really, really difficult to find out what to latch onto because we meet people with no context really. There's that even their relationship plays out very. The bit I texted you that was like a school play was in one of their many flashbacks when he was painting his wife in a field, and said, "Oh, I bloody love you," and she goes, "Oh, would you love me
If I was a worm.
even if something fucked was to happen?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Oh, I've got secrets." When someone says they've got secrets in real life, what that means is, I don't know, maybe they haven't discussed with you their feelings on having children, or maybe they've got a complex relationship with their parents. It's not, I was in a really creepy and the most overt cult in the world. When you come and visit me in my town, they'll literally be touching me up in the street. Like,
That's just
this is
Swansea.
mad. Also, James, when you're thinking about, come on, we're leaving the town, you don't think you would have packed a bag for her? What he did was he stayed in that house stewing all day with her empty suitcases, so that when she came home, he went, right, pack your bags, which I've gone to the trouble of getting out the loft. We're packing and we're leaving,
I,
not get in the car.
I really didn't like the cult stuff. I feel like the cult stuff was obviously a part of the first film, directed by the same person, of course. Maybe you tried to do some sort of continuation of that. The cult stuff is more prevalent in the first game, but even then, it's not like, there aren't people from a cult going, we're a bloody cult. It went very Rosemary's Baby, didn't it, when they were all like in the room with
Yeah,
her? What are you doing here with 100 people in this room? Nothing. It's fine.
they've
Forget
just
it.
popped round.
They
They've
just,
just come round this second, all
yeah,
of them.
yeah, all of them at the same time. But in the second
Like
game,
you could live in Balamory, and that would be like an unheard of contrivance that every fucker in town would come round to your house at the same time. That is a weird occurrence on Sesame Street for that many people to spontaneously turn up at your house,
who
let
is the
alone in the world of Silent Hill.
who is the pyramid head of Balamory? Police officer guy, isn't it?
PC, I don't know. I only
PC.
know
Oh,
Archie,
I
the
would have said it was
inventor.
Archie in his
Archie the
castle on his
inventor.
own being weird.
I got a real
Miles Jupp.
problem. I got a real problem with Archie the inventor. He didn't invent shit. He made shitty little trinkets out of yogurt pots. That's not inventing. That's just
That's crafts.
that's just arts and crafts, you twat. Oh, but yeah, but in terms of the cult stuff, there was none of that stuff in the game, and I feel like it just complicated matters in this. And of course, those characters, Eddie, Laura, all those characters that appear in the game, they're all mysterious in their own way, and they're all dealing with their own trauma. They're not necessarily linked directly to James and Mary.
Is
They're kind of
sorry, Ben,
there.
keep me honest. Is Eddie the pizza man who beats the fuck out of him for calling him an asshole and then leaves the film?
Yeah, that is exactly who Eddie is. Yeah, and Eddie, obviously, his appearance in the game is really important because you start to realize that, oh, he's killed someone. Oh, I think it was me. He's killed me. What's going on here? Like really weird. And yeah, they just did it dirty. I guess Laura's character was a little bit closer to the game in that sense in this. Um, but yeah, it was just a bit on the nose, but not in a good way. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, it's difficult to adapt something that, as you said, Ben, is possibly a 12-hour experience, and you get the weight of the scares through the bits which are incidental and without story, right? Because you will get a few minutes of story, and
Yeah.
then you're invested in their survival because you've walked around silently
Mm,
fighting monsters for three-quarters of an hour until
yeah.
you get another little bit of story drip fed to you.
And finding all
But
these weird clues and these weird visuals,
yeah,
and it's kind of like all that world building is so
I,
meticulous, and it's just,
I feel like I feel like I still want to refuse to believe that it wasn't possible to adapt that within 90 minutes.
oh yeah.
I think you could have done it, but unfortunately, it's not the intention, but the most emotional weight I got out of any death was that poor little rat that got slurped off by
Oh,
cockroaches. He looked ever so sad, didn't he?
that was really sad. Me and my friend were like, no. That's
No.
that's
I'm
the
gonna go.
most emotionally involved we were too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Silent Hill. I'm gonna burn that place to the ground to avenge that rat.
The rat came back later. That was a fake beard. Why are
Ben,
some like fake beards?
are those sort of horseshoe crabs that slurp people into oblivion? Are they in the game?
There's some weird things like that in the third game, maybe. I don't know. The thing again, even the introduction of Pyramid Head and like, because there's a moment in the game where you see Pyramid Head for the first time and that's scary, but then later on you're hiding in a cupboard when Pyramid Head like um is
He's
essentially sexually assaulting
he's dry humping mannequins,
these
isn't he?
mannequins. Yeah, he's sexually, and this doesn't happen. And so the Pyramid Head obviously represents uh, a lot of stuff to do with James and the way he sort of perceives his sexuality and the way he sort of perceives women and the way he kind of felt about Mary when she got ill, and then the way um, he feels about Maria is that's how he perceives her. It's really complex, but in this, it just what does it do? Just beats up one of them, doesn't it? Like the Pyramid Head, and this is
Yeah, the
like
pyramid head chops up a boob spider.
Oh, that was upsetting.
chops up a boob spot. Yeah, yeah. What was upset? Was it upsetting just the creature design or just
Everything,
yeah?
the creature design, how ridiculous that whole thing was.
Mm,
Um, the fact that that flimsy little metal gate couldn't hold that absolute brick shit house back. Like you were
yeah,
telling me the pinhead couldn't just go and like get his way through that metal
yeah.
grate. Just
Because he is hench, isn't
nonsense.
he?
He's
He's
like a closed door, my one weakness.
But that, but there are loads of it. There's stuff in the, and this still gets made fun of now. There's stuff like that in the game where there's like a crate on some steps, and you go, it's bloody blocked. Got to go a different direction. Oh, there's a bloody crate there, isn't it? Imagine that was real life. Oh, where am I gonna go?
Well, that's
Uh,
something my friend mentioned after we watched the film was like he'd played the game and he said he liked the elements where like when he's in the apartment building, there's only one way he can go up the stairs. There's different things have been blocked off, so he
yeah.
has to go that way, like that forced gameplay of like, well, you have to go this way for the
Mm,
story. So like the elements of that were in the film, like for him, he was like, yeah, that was cool. I like that they did that. Um, and I will say, as someone who hasn't played the games, what made me give it 1 star as opposed to 0 stars was it felt like I was watching cutscenes at points.
okay. Mm.
And I think that was done purposefully, or that it was just janky as fuck and it looked like an old PlayStation 2 game. Um, but it did look like the scene behind you, Ben. Like to me, that looked like
Yeah.
a cutscene. It was very smooth.
Mm.
And there was a shot quite early in the film where there was some POV from I think from James's POV. That
Oh
was
yeah.
very computer gamey. Um,
Was that in the bar fight
Oh, was that his
bit?
bar fight
yes, yeah,
before he gets
yeah.
thrown into those lovely soft bin bags?
But even that, like, it felt computer gamey, but like just maybe a different game. It like felt like obviously they tried to do the POV thing in the Doom film, didn't they? And it just felt a bit. It just felt a bit like that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I can only speak to it as someone who's seen the first movie and hasn't played
mm.
any of the games, so I know I'm coming at this film from a completely different angle to you
Yeah, but
guys.
that's
But
good. It's good to have a few different angles of it, isn't it? Definitely. It's
it's
interesting
just
to know that you like the first film, but you didn't like this one. That's an
mhm.
interesting
Yeah.
juxtaposition, I guess.
I expected more of, okay, I didn't know the middle one existed, but I expected this to be more of a follow-up to that first film rather. I knew it was linked to Silent Hill 2, but I expected more of like, oh, well, you like that first one, let's give you more of that but better, or
Mm.
more of that but different. Especially because Christophe Gans directed and wrote both of them.
Yeah.
I wasn't I wasn't that interested in this film until I saw that Christoph Gans was directing it, and I was like, "Oh, okay,
Mm.
cool. That's gonna be good," because like the first one felt like a bit of a labor of love, and this'll be good then if he's doing this one as well. And then
Is
as
this
somebody
the
who's sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, is that the secret sauce though, Sam? Because I think while Christoph Gans is partially credited for he's directed both, but he's partially written credit. The original screenplay, and I think the principal writing of the original comes from a guy called Roger Avery, who, amongst other things, wrote Pulp Fiction. Chris Gans does this one by himself,
Mm,
Like, we'll never know, of course, but is it a director who maybe has taken on a little bit too much and has said, well, I'm also going to solo write this one, and without that additional writer, for whatever
yeah.
reason, be it by choice or by circumstance, maybe he doesn't quite have the same idea or the same grip of the concept that you enjoyed about the first one.
Maybe. Like when you were saying about the cult stuff, I got really excited in the film. I was like, "Oh, okay, here we go.
Mm.
This is going to be when it starts to get interesting." Because I really loved that whole storyline in the first movie of, this really weird, fucked up cult. And I thought, cool, this is going to be really interesting. This is where the film's going to start to get darker and the plot is going to get richer and more interesting. And then it was just like, they've all gone home now, bye. And it was like, oh, okay.
See
And
you
that was
later.
it. Yeah, and it was like a pass-in thing. And I know, like you said, there's 12 hours of gameplay to distill down into a 90-minute movie, but everything just felt like a little like box ticking exercise. This thing, we've covered that, we've covered this, we've covered this.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
nothing felt
definitely.
linked or connected. It was just like, well, we've ticked that off the set piece from the game and this. So there
Yeah.
was for me, as somebody who didn't know that story, nothing felt connected. I had zero connection to any of the characters. I had like one of the first notes I scribbled on my notepad was I fucking hate them both. I hated James as he's driving in his little car and then he meets
Yeah.
that girl and like the whole thing is so forced and just he's a dickhead. Like he's like, all right then see ya after he's broken her suitcase. The very least he should do is put her in the car and drive her to town.
Why
Or
is that
drive
coat?
but no, not even take her back. Take her to the city. Take
Where
take
Yeah.
her
she's
to the
where she was
city she
going,
was
don't
supposed to
write
be
a day off.
going.
Yeah.
Going
Yeah,
to the
just
city.
he was a dickhead and I wrote I fucking hate them both straight away. So
I
I
mean,
had absolutely no buy-in to anything that happened in this film from the off because I hated them.
I
Yeah.
mean, do you think it's actually impossible that the bus driver wasn't just going to wait a minute?
That's what I thought. I was like, why is the coach driver or the bus driver so keen to like drive off? If you saw
Even the
someone
megabus stops for you for a minute.
even the
And also,
megabus waits for you if you break your suitcases.
he hasn't even opened the bottom to let you say, I tell you what, by the time you, the driver, has loaded my other two suitcases on here, I'll have this
Be
third one
sorted.
fixed, don't you worry,
Oh,
mate.
just go, just go. I was, oh, come on.
I've resigned myself to this fate.
Yeah.
He wasn't that attractive that you just be like, "Oh, okay, I'll wave the bus
Mm.
on."
Yeah, and
She's
also
trying to
even
escape. She'd be desperate. She'd be like, "Fuck it, I'm walking."
Yeah.
yeah, if he was the hottest man in the world, I'd be a bit pissed off at him for smashing my suitcases. Still,
Mm.
I
I
But
mean, I
think
I did
suppose.
like his paintings. I did really, really like his artwork. I keep meaning to look who did the artwork for this film because that was one thing I did really like. His paintings were beautiful.
the Pyramid
You know,
Head
there are.
one is pretty cool. I think that's got a good visual. I think that's nice to have like a unique visual for this film. The one with the Pyramid Head one's pretty cool. And the corridor with all the paintings in as well is pretty.
Yeah, they all look
I'm
really lovely.
so
Set design
glad.
and stuff was good, and I like there is a lot of performance art in this. There's a great deal of performers that have got covered in makeup so they can be scary nurses made of porcelain and to be contorted spider people and to be big pyramid heads. All the
I do.
people that are wearing masks in this that we don't get to see their faces are doing tremendous work.
Hmm. I'm still a bit annoyed that the lore of Silent Hill in the films is that it's like ash from those underground fires,
Hmm.
which doesn't really make sense because this one isn't connected to that
It's
first
on a
film.
beautiful lake.
Of course, it's just fog in the games, and again, I know this is its own thing, and that's fine. Um, but yeah, I just found it a bit, and obviously they added with the cult stuff, they added that so that they could add the sort of abuse angle, so that they could then include the sort of character slash villain later, which is called the abstract daddy in the games, the one where it's like it looks like it's stuck to a bed. Remember that thing? Like
Yeah.
towards the end, abstract daddy. But again, that's someone else's completely different story, and they've just like mushed it all together. Yeah, right. Okay, so let's just briefly get into the plot and sort of cover everything, so we make sure we
Yeah, it won't
cover
take us
every
long.
angle, every
There was a
angle,
plot.
every. There's a bloody plot. You never guess what. I also love how we'll get into this, but I love how alcoholism is portrayed in any film of this caliber. It's just the same old shit, and it's just like dark circles around your eyes, having a beer. Oh, I've had a guts full of this life, lobbing the beer. It's just the
Starting
same
a
old
fight with
shit.
anybody.
Having a fight with anyone, doing some fucking painting. Oh yeah, come on.
Almost, like, to be clear, Ben, you have to 99% finish that painting before you lose it and wreck it.
I've had enough.
Literally, all I've got to do is move this to the wall. Otherwise, this painting is finished. Fuck yeah! Ruined.
Okay. All right. Cast Jeremy Irvine as James Sunderland, Hannah Emily Anderson as Mary Crane slash, and again we're spoiling the whole thing, so forget it.
How many slashes?
Maria, Angela, and here it says Moth Mary, but that's kind of a given, isn't it? I
It's
knew
a
it
real
was.
the clump situation here.
All sat around the table. Oh my God, we all get equal billing on the gravestone. All right. Uh, Evie Templeton as Laura. She also plays Laura in the Silent Hill remake. So that's pretty cool. Perce Egan as Eddie, just some dickhead who's randomly in a.
Who opts to exit the film?
I've been in this. I love it here. I love chilling out in Silent Hill on my own. And then we obviously got Robert Strange's Pyramid Head, the bloody therapist. I hated that. How shit is a therapist angle for something like this? I'm just gonna ring me therapist every time something happens, and I'm kind of still in danger. Ridiculous. I think the reason that
This is the
bothered me.
US, mate. This isn't. This is costing me a fortune.
Yeah, Silent Hill as a thing. Like, there's another thing. Silent Hill as a concept. Each experience in Silent Hill is unique to a specific person. So if you're in Silent Hill, you're in there on your own, and everything that you're seeing is kind of related to you in a way. You can't just phone out. All right, I'm in Silent Hill.
What
Yeah,
are you
it's
doing?
quality in here. Yeah,
I'm having a real shitter in Silent
I'm
Hill.
having an absolute shitter in Silent Hill. I'm,
Although
I'm having a shitter. Um,
I will say something of in fairness to the films here. Silent Hill, the games don't stick to that law. The fact that, oh shit, Silent Hill's meant to be unique for your personal psychotic drama that you're having at this moment. But on the other hand, Pyramid Head was a really popular character design, so
yeah,
we will turn up in other people's very
yeah.
personal
He's
nightmares.
always there. Yeah, but I feel like despite that, it's always got specific, recognizable points to it, isn't it? I know it got a bit. Silent Hill 3 is good. I like Silent Hill The Room. I think that's good as well. But then after that, Homecoming and was it
Not a big Downpour
Downpour?
fan.
I don't remember it very
About a
much.
short message.
Short message was all right, but again, it felt a bit like I played a short message. I played Silent Hill F as well. It feels like Silent Hill, but through the lens of like more modern games, if that makes sense.
The only thing I can think of from a short message is rustly paper noise. It's all I can think
It was a
of.
man made Have you seen that advert with the man made a post-it notes? Have you seen that advert?
Yes. It's him after you.
It's him after you the whole time.
It's him after you, and it turns out
Don't
to be
forget
about
your
teenage
to-do
suicide.
list.
Awful.
Don't forget your to-do list. He's coming for you. Yeah. So we start with some time ago. Artist James Sunderland has a chance meeting with Mary Crane. We've obviously already discussed that. Leaving her hometown of Silent Hill. He's an artist, don't you know?
Having a big old spliff driving his car. Yeah.
He's a rebel, don't you know? He's got a leather jacket on. He's smoking a number.
He's having the bloody devil's lettuce while he's absolutely caning it down a winding mounting path.
Yeah.
Accident waiting to happen.
Accident waiting to happen, yeah. He causes her to miss her megabus, and she decides to go back to Silent Hill. And then they have, what are they doing? Just having a romantic, like a holiday romance, but
They have a holiday romance, except it's just a day. Although sometimes it does go to a nightmare because as they agree to go on a little date to Silent Hill, they say, "Oh, it's just a summer rainstorm. Excuse me while I jump scare you into being a zombie."
Oh, that was totally unnecessary, wasn't it? Oh, so summer rainstorm. They happened in Silent Hill. Oh, right.
Ghost drowned.
I did like a lot of seeing the Silent Hill before Silent Hill stuff was kind of interesting, I guess, because that's not something you really ever get in the game. And again, I know I keep mentioning the game, but It's relevant in a way. Isn't it?
Let's talk about the game though, Ben. This is your introduction. I feel the premise of the game would have
Far
been
more interesting.
easily lifted and shifted. So the premise,
100% more interesting.
if I'm keep me honest, if I'm misremembering this, Ben, but in the game, it is no secret that his wife is dead. He is
Yeah.
as far as we know, a loving widower whose
Hmm.
wife has passed away, who then, while he's trying to get on with his grieving,
It's like
gets a
2 years
letter from
later or
his
something, isn't it?
wife and says, "Hey, it's me. Come and meet me in the place where we used to be in Silent Hill."
Yeah.
And he goes there thinking, "Shit, I've just got a letter which I believe to be from my dead wife. What is going on?"
Yeah. So there's loads of stuff
That'd have
like
been a wicked setup.
it's a great setup. It's a great premise because you're like, oh, what does he think? Does he think someone's fucking with him? Does he think is she somehow still alive? Like she's died. I saw her die.
And instead of the counselor bit and him doing some alcoholism, you could have had him go. You could have had him interact with a person not on the phone, and have him going to his grief counselling, saying, "Oh, it's been this many months now since my wife died."
Hmm.
What?
Yeah.
How would that have worked for you differently, Sam? We're pitching a new film for you here.
That would have
I've
worked
got you
because
in.
my assumption was that they were just broken up because I didn't think she could be dead because she sent him a letter. Why would she be dead?
Yeah.
Because I'm working off normal world rules here, not computer game story
Dead people
rules.
can't get a
So I'm
partners.
like, she must still be alive. They've just broken up. So he's going back to see her. And then when I realized that, I was like, oh, hang on, right, okay, she's clearly dead because he's having his counseling and stuff. That would have worked way better to have just seen him as a grieving widower
Mm.
right from the off.
It was definitely a little bit all over the place. Like I'm obviously fine with narratives, kind of like going back in time and refer and going back to like flashbacks and all that stuff. It was a bit confusing. There were a few times where I went, wait, what? Why have you shown us this? And then you're showing us this. It was just a bit like, what's going on here?
But how are
Maybe
you
I'm an
both
idiot.
with the tight face from Evil Dead Rise? Because
Oh,
you like it.
I was so annoyed at that.
I mean, it was. Well, Andy, how do you describe it?
It's a quintessential directorial technique known as copying, which in fact is even better because that's an Adam and Joe joke, which I am copying. But yeah,
But in Silent, what's annoying, right, is that in Evil Dead, when that happens, it's at a pivotal, cold open, amazing moment with the score and everything where you're just like, fuck. With this, he's just walking through some fucking trees.
he's gone right now to walk through these trees.
Now to walk through these trees.
Silent Hill.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a choice.
It was a choice. It was very silly. It was unnecessary, wasn't it? So yeah, he goes. So yeah, in the present, we've obviously seen stuff with James. He's moved away. He's become an alcoholic. We know that because he's got dark eyes and a bit of stubble.
Yeah, his hair has gone darker than it was
Just for
when he
men.
was happy.
That's what happens. He's in contact with a psychologist who's concerned about his mental well-being, and then he receives a letter from Mary beckoning him back to Silent Hill. And it says here he hastily returns. Oh, don't be so desperate, James. God.
The second he arrives there, he meets a woman who's like, "Here, stack these sandbags with me while I do this exposition on you."
Did either of you think it was the same person at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe I'm an idiot because I didn't know.
I used a technique I've been honing for a number of years, Ben. It's called having
Called having
eyes.
ice.
For some, like I was going, I reckon
Who's
I
that
know.
then?
I genuinely was. I don't even care. I was
You'd seen her
going.
20 seconds before, Ben.
I recognize her. Who's that?
She
It
just
really
had a
threw me
different
off.
shitty Amazon wig on.
She had a slightly different wig. She had something different going on with her nose. I've got this weird face blindness thing.
She's just got sad makeup on.
If someone gets a nose job, I know she didn't have a nose job, but I've got this weird face blindness thing. If someone gets a nose job, I'm like, who the fuck's that?
Ben's
What's
never
going
heard
on
of the
here?
actor from the Leprechaun one. He's like, "Who's that? She could have a promising career."
Yeah. So there was this weird bit where, oh, and if you don't find her, maybe come back and find me later. What was she doing? Just stacking up sandbags to stop the flooding.
Yeah, even though the flood seemed quite well contained because it wasn't raining anymore and there was a couple of sandbags clearance.
Oh, and also at no point, and are we supposed to believe that like he just refused to accept this anyway or acknowledge it? But at no point did he go, "Hang on a minute, all these characters have got the same middle names as Mary."
Yeah.
And why is he on middle name terms with these people as well? I don't introduce myself with my middle name.
Yeah,
That's because you haven't got quite as many as I don't know actually, Sam.
no.
Maybe you've got 18 middle names
Just got the
like
one. Just
like
got the one.
Mary
It's not
does.
very exciting, but yeah, I
Janet.
don't introduce. Oh, I wish it was as cool as Janet. No.
No,
It's a very born in the late 80s middle name. Um
I don't want to guess. It's going to be
it's
born
not
in.
it's not the one that everybody else has got because my sister's got that one.
Oh, I was going to say Rose.
No, I would have loved it to be Rose. No,
Lovely. That's my daughter's middle
it's
name.
not Louise. Because
Oh yeah.
my sister's is
Which is
Louise,
my
and
wife's middle name.
everyone my age, I'm 39, everyone in my year in school, all their middle names were Louise, and mine is Leanne,
Oh,
Okay.
Leanne.
but that's quite a common one as
Very nice.
well. But yeah, I don't go around going, "Hello, Samantha Leanne, nice to meet you."
But
Just
would you expect your partner to know it just in case you ever come back as a slightly different character?
no. I just well, I'd hope they'd recognize her fucking face, to be honest.
Yeah.
The middle
Not
name
me.
wouldn't even come into it.
That I would agree that is maybe a secondary clue. If someone looks like your ex and then their first name is one of her many middle names, you'd be like, hang on a minute.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird.
Coincidence.
It's just one of those stupid things, isn't it, that sometimes happens in films where you just go, "Is that the best you got?" Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I get
It
it, but it's
never
just shite in it.
but it never really fully extrapolates this in the story. A couple of the alternates to his wife say, if you can't find who you're looking for, let me and you leave. Come back and find me.
I just bloody met you, and you look
But like,
hanging.
like is that if we're to assume that he is expected to be able to work out this is another element of his wife's persona or personality, is that him getting chances to embrace a part of a persona that he hasn't necessarily engaged with historically, and rather than looking for this version of her that you cannot have, he
Mm.
could have saved her in another
Smash.
sense. Yeah, could have at least left Silent Hill. I don't care if you look a bit like my wife, but like if you lived in the sad drowned dimension, like I can adjust to a Kiss concert. That'd be great. Like I don't know. Is that what they're meant to be doing? Are they looking to find him ways for him to accept her in a different way? I don't
Mm.
know because
I
it
don't know.
never is explored.
It's never explored. It's just supposed to be one of those "haha, gotcha" moments, isn't it? Ah, look at this, great. So obviously goes into Silent Hill. The town is covered in fog, falling ash, almost entirely abandoned due to an unspecified illness that kills many. Finds a homeless fella, who then gets killed. And again, the creatures from Silent Hill in the like skin, how do you describe it? Uh,
It's
straight jacket, like a straight jacket made of skin.
yeah, it's kind of like if you got glued inside a big Asda bag, isn't it?
Back for life.
If you didn't listen to your grandparents that say don't put plastic bags on your head in the 80s, if you'd done that and the wind had changed and you got stuck in it, that's how you'd end up.
Oh, what an episode of 999 that would have been.
Yeah. And then your only choice is to stumble around Silent Hill,
With your
vomiting hot
knees
sick at
touching.
people. Yeah,
Yeah.
with your knees touching. Get some hot sick on you.
With your knees touching. Oh yeah, the horrible, like vomiting hot bile out. That's pretty
Tar.
disgusting, isn't it? Horrible tar. Yeah, melty tar. Um,
Is that how the homeless person gets it? What happens to him? I don't remember.
Doesn't he get the tar in his face?
He
yeah, I think
does, I
so.
think maybe,
He
yeah.
gets Dennis Nedry in Jurassic Park.
He gets
Gets some
Dennis Nedry, of
some
course.
horrible tar on the old face. Uh, the town transformed into a twisted nightmare version of itself. It's pretty horrible to start with. And then James flees to the Woodside apartment building.
Is this when he does like a big action scene where he's just running past loads of the Asda bag lads?
Oh no, yeah, there's loads of them, but then there's like loads of insects, if you remember, like a big
Insects
swarm
who
of
have the
insects.
most emotionally touching death of the film. That little rat.
Oh yeah, they got little faces. These ones, aren't they?
Yeah.
I didn't
Got
didn't like them.
No, they were
little ghouly faces, and they slurp that rat through the grating, don't they?
little ghouly faces. Yeah.
And then he locks it because even though they can melt through metal to pull that rat through,
Can't get
if
through the
you
door.
bar a door, they're fucked.
Do
They
you wish
can't
they?
get
Do
you.
you wish they turned into a big fist?
Yeah, 3-star movie if that had happened. If all of those bug things had been collectively milling around, one had seen him, they had formed into a giant exclamation mark, and then formed into a fist to try and get him.
That is
Like in
cinema.
the Mummy, they turn into a big face.
Oh yes.
Yes.
So this is the apartment building where he and Mary once lived. Did we get more flashbacks of him and Mary having a
You get the
lovely?
flashbacks of when they first moved in because I remember this stairwell on the day we moved in.
Remember the
Yeah.
day we moved in and you had a box of stuff? Yeah, I remember that. Again, their relationship just doesn't seem very believable, does it? And this was a problem we had with Keeper. I don't know if you saw Keeper.
Yeah,
Sam?
pile of shit.
Same one.
I
Well,
really wanted to like it, really didn't like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, their relationship wasn't believable at all.
No. And this relationship wasn't believable because I'm like, what? You know, when you're a bit like, what do they see in each other? It's not even like one-sided. It's not like, what does she see in him or what does he see in her? It's like, what do they see in each other?
We did
I
a
don't really
little
get
bit
it.
of flirting that day. You trashed my fucking suitcase.
Yeah. Because it's like a really odd, very secretive relationship. And then obviously, like with the cult stuff and that, you just be like, this ain't bloody worth it, mate. So yeah, we sort of see some flashback stuff to that as well. And in this building is where he meets Eddie. What's Eddie doing? Is he doing something in the toilet?
Being sick in the toilet.
Just
That
being
is
sick.
Oh yeah, he's
that's
chundering,
what he
isn't
does in the film.
Yeah.
That's what he does in the game as well, right? That's where you meet him in the game, right? He's being sick after chamming a whole pizza.
Yeah, in this one, I reckon he's had loads of shots of apple sours, and he's going, oh fucking hell,
Yeah. I'd want too many
15%.
J2Os, mate. I gotta sick at least one or two of these up.
It's just a bit weird, isn't it? Like this character, because he's like, oh, I haven't gone anywhere because I just want to stay here and I like my own company.
Yeah.
He's an
Where'd
introvert.
you
This
get the
guy.
pizza from?
Yeah,
Maybe
did he have
when
Not having a cardo dropping off the shopping, is he?
I bet you, because these Just Eat delivery guys, they'll do it in all sorts of weather.
Yeah,
They
if
don't give a
you
shit about the ash and the fog.
I've seen people, giving people tips for bad weather in the US when it was a big freeze last week. Probably just that. If you tip them highly enough,
Yeah.
someone
Deliver.
suffering through the real horrors of the gig economy will make it to Silent Hill.
Fair.
And around about now is obviously when he encounters Pyramid Head. Doesn't
He
Eddie
meets
say
the little.
something
Which one of the middle names is the little girl, Ben?
Laura, yeah.
He meets
So-
Laura, who is a ghoulish Victorian child.
Again,
goes-
like, they got some stuff right with Laura. Like she's a bit like she sort of hides and runs away, and almost like is like she does lock James in a room with like a horrible creature a little bit later, and you're like, for fuck's sake, never hit a kid, right? I'll never would hit a kid, but here in Silent Hill, who's gonna know?
Yeah.
Drop
It
kicker.
It wasn't me. It was one of the bag lads.
It was Pyramid Head. Pyramid Head. I swang for Pyramid Head, and he ducked, and I ended up lamping Laura. Sorry, I would
Yeah,
never
so
do that.
he has a talk with her. He says, "Oh, come with me then." And Eddie is like, "Nah, don't bother." So he calls Eddie an arsehole.
He
Eddie
calls
is
yeah.
built like a wrestler. He's wearing the tightest t-shirt. He's wearing an XXX, and arsehole, is it? And he gives him a proper like James Bond 2 fists thump you in the back, and he's like, "Oh, I've been battered."
Not very nice, is it?
And then after he's given him a few thumps, he literally, maintaining eye contact with the camera, walks out the film. His eyes are right down the barrel. He like goes around the corner, vanishes, never to be seen. Oh, have I just erased his tragic death from my mind?
I don't
Do
think we see him
again?
again.
We don't see him again now, and again, that's just. I think in the game he sort of appears and then he gradually becomes more. Initially, you just think he's just some dude, and then he becomes more and more of a threat, and his story kind of unfolds, and you realize that he's a threat. Oh no, he's a threat to me. So that's really interesting. They
But
kind of obviously did away
put
with
me in,
all of that.
Ben. What does Eddie do in the game? What's his arc?
He like says that he killed someone, and then you're like, oh, he killed someone, did you? Yeah, his body's in there. And in the game, even though you don't really notice it as James, like you as the player can notice, that's me. He's killed me. What the hell? And then essentially you have a big fight with him. He's got a gun, and it's in like a big freezer of loads of meat hanging down, and you have to basically fight him, or he's trying to kill you, and you have to just kill him. But that's it, pretty much. But yeah, essentially he's a murderer who has killed somebody, killed a man, um, and that's why he's in Silent Hill, because he's like got insecurities about his weight and stuff like that. And I'm just trying to remember some bits as well. He's very mentally disturbed. He's got insecurities about his weight, and his troubled past has like drawn him to Silent Hill. And he's kind of been living there for ages on his own. And he's got a backwards hat and a lovely and a lovely t-shirt. And he makes friends with Laura. Like there's a couple of scenes where you stumble on them both, and they're like in a sort of cinema. Enjoy. I think they're eating pizza then. Yeah.
He's got a hookup with the one Uber Eats delivery driver that will come to Silent Hill.
Yeah. So essentially, so essentially when he goes mad, it's because he's like talking about people who have bullied him, and he's like, if anyone bullies me anymore or says anything about my weight, I'm gonna kill him. And then you as James is like going, that's all right, mate. Don't worry about it. He goes, yeah, you as well. You're fucking looking at me weird. I'm gonna fucking kill you. And you're like, nah, Eddie, don't. And then it becomes like a boss fight.
So this
Yeah.
Eddie is more reasonable then, because at least James did call him an arsehole, which was what triggered him.
Mm. Yeah, pretty much.
But then, so Pyramid Head is there, but can't get through the door.
Yeah.
And then, where does the other monster? Who turns into the nude spider?
I don't know if anyone turns it. Does it like just come into the room, like crawls through the ceiling? Like James goes into a room, hides in the cupboard.
There's
Pyramid
like a
Head
head
comes
that
in.
rolls off, Raggy Doll style, and
Yeah.
like, and then they has a look
Wasn't
at
it one
him.
of the nurses or something turned into? No, no. Isn't it the when he bumps into the blonde version of his wife, doesn't she get turned into the spider? Someone gets turned into the spider thing
Yeah,
because I
like
was like, hee
someone
hee
like
boobs.
there's a humanoid figure, right? That then more legs split off it, and it becomes the naked spider, and then chases him into a room where there's also a pyramid head, and then they sort each other out.
And
Really,
then yeah, and Pyramid Head goes and like cuts her in
chops.
half.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was the blonde, the like
I don't think she turned up yet, actually, in this
I think
I
she
instance.
don't
turns up in a
know.
little bit,
Turns
but
up a bit later.
I do feel as though it is a figure, a human. I'm not sure whether it's a nameless character, like a
It was just a
woman
bit.
that just becomes.
It's just big old CGI stuff in it. Jiggle physics. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it was a
and
bit
and
odd.
we get to see it gloriously rendered, that battle between two grotesque monsters in the
Yeah,
reflection of his eye from in a cupboard.
yeah, classic. Because
Which
there's a
makes
bit.
more sense now, like you said about the bit from the game when like he's watching stuff from the cupboard. Like
Hmm.
that kind of makes a bit more sense. I didn't really understand what was going on there.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. Again, it's weird in the game, but I think you like you as
If
the
you're
as the
watching that as someone who hasn't seen the game, you're just like, why is he in the fucking cupboard?
yeah, get out of the cupboard. But there's a bit in the game as well where you like hold a gun up, like you're gonna shoot it, and you can't. And it's made looks like, oh, are you too scared, or is it just because, like, I don't know. It's a
Ah,
bit.
bullets.
I'm out of bloody bullets, mate. Um, so James, sorry, wakes up back in the real Silent Hill, which is the ashy thing, and then that's where he sees Laura up on the wall, and
Sorry, Ben, to get you. There was a bit I made a note of here.
Okay,
So
sorry.
the monster, like the pyramid head, kills the spider lady, and then it finds him in the cupboard, right? And it face to face with him. As people of a certain era, I feel that the two of you will get this. So James, confronted by Pyramid Head, he's right up in his business, right? He's going to get him. He screams exactly like Ren from Ren and Stimpy. He does like a big like He does a big wren scream. I can imagine like his tongue like zigzagging out of his mouth. See, and then like one of those horrible Ren and Stimpy disgusting close-ups. He does
Yeah.
like he
Oh
does the
God,
big
yeah.
scream and then
Oh
he
yeah, that was
wakes up.
horrible.
Sorry to interrupt you, Ben. You
That's right.
carry
It's all
on.
right. Yeah. So when he encounters Laura again, she claims to know Mary, and I think this is around about the time that James meets Maria. Maria just turns up. I think they're in a park or something, aren't they? Maria just turns up looking immaculate in her with her hair and her makeup and her outfit and her coat.
In like a maze, right? They're
Yeah,
in
yeah,
like a
yeah.
hedge
To be
maze.
fair, that's from the game, and it looked pretty good. I think a lot of the like foggy exteriors pretty well done.
Yeah.
Even some of the interiors pretty well
Well,
done.
I actually got a bit of trivia for you on this one. Apparently,
Nice.
the shoot for Return to Silent Hill, 50 days of shooting this film had,
Bloody
My
and
hell.
they had
God,
67 different sets.
Jesus.
As
Was it
per
Eastern
an
Europe or
interview with the
something?
director with Dread Central.
Where was it? Do we know? Eastern Europe?
I don't know where they filmed it, but yes, 67 different sets.
Belgrade.
Belgrade, okay.
Yeah. And also some German cities as well, apparently. Yeah, 50-day schedule over 67 sets. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
No, so again, let's give
Fair,
credit where they
23
obviously
million.
had to storyboard and plan and design an awful lot.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah,
And
exactly.
then didn't do anything with it.
But to be fair, a lot of the budget must have gone on that. 67 sets, 23 million. Do you know what I mean? Like, no
Mm.
wonder they had a dead rat for a beard later on.
Oh, with that in mind, maybe if they get around to doing Silent Hill for The Room, which will hopefully just have one set, gangbusters in terms of
Yeah,
story.
exactly. Oh, yeah, he ends up in Heaven's Night as well, but he goes in there on his own, that club, doesn't he? If you know, there was definitely a bit earlier. Forget now. Tell me if I'm wrong here, but there was definitely a bit where Mary was going bloody dead boring in Silent Hill. There's nothing here, no clubs, nothing.
What's this
Yeah,
one
there
then?
is. What's that place then? Bloody massive in there. Heaven's Night. The whole bloody town are in there living it up. That make
Oh
any
yeah,
sense?
that's the bit where they have the conversation where everyone she knows is like, her dad, sound, love him.
Her dad's an absolute bloody legend, all right? He's the hardest man in Silent Hill.
Yeah. Do you know your dad? Yeah, you can have him. Like that. Snap him like a twig, her dad would.
But again, it's really key to the story when in the game when James goes into Heaven's Night with Maria, and Maria almost starts coming on to him in a way. But then he just went in there on his own in this one. I went, "Really, no, this is nice, isn't it? Lovely."
Yeah.
Um,
For her name to be Marie and one of her middle names to be Maria, come on.
oh yeah, I didn't think of that. Mary Maria. I didn't even make that connection. That's even
Yeah,
worse.
I think it's close enough. Just give her the one. But yeah, she's had this relationship, and then at this point, James has not pointed out that she, of all the characters that are also definitely his wife, looks the most like her. But yeah,
Yeah, just looks exactly the same. Does he not even
dressed.
blink? You said that, Sam. Does he not blink? Does he
Yeah,
not
he
go?
doesn't. There's
Wait a
no
minute.
moment of him just going, "Oh my God!" Like, I feel like you'd like double take, or you'd sort of go, "Oh my God, sorry!" Like
You look
my
exactly the same.
yeah, my eyes are playing tricks on me a minute, or there'd be just some flicker of recognition of like, "Oh my God!" And then that moment of disappointment where you're like, "It couldn't possibly be her. She's dead." Like,
Hmm.
there's not one glimmer of recognition at all from him the whole movie, even though
No.
there's like 12 women with his wife's face.
You should have a little bit where he gets his notebook out and saying, "Look, if I can't find my original wife, I've got to make a pros and cons list of which one I'm going to leave with. Is it the sad one from the cemetery? Pros, appears to have some sort of job. Cons, miserable, covered in rain, wet."
Appears to have some kind of job. I don't reckon she's getting a living wage for that.
Stacking sandbags. Second one, well, is kind of like my wife if she was going clubbing all the time.
Does
Or was
she?
in Lex the Dark Zone. One of the two things.
She
But
looks like
like,
she's about to go to the blood rave in Blade. She's
yeah.
on her way there. Um, So I think she says she's going to take him to Brookhaven. That's the hospital, isn't it? Um, Along the way, this is when James recalls several memories of learning that Mary was involved in this cult operating in Silent Hill, founded by her father. What was that weird thing as well? The weird like thing with her dad's head,
Oh, jeez, a dad's head, and
a big
they would
Funko
make
Pop
it
of her dad.
a dad's big Funko Pop, and they were feeding her juice out of it when she went down into the sewers,
Yeah.
and then they all pretended to eat her.
Oh, I don't know if I really
I've
understood this.
clearly wiped this bit from my brain
So
because I do
It was
not
when he
remember
was
this.
watching. James was watching, and he like screamed something. Then he, Larry.
yeah, he follows her into the sewers where Gabriel Byrne has a date with Christine York in End of Days. He's that same location, a
It
big
does
sort of
look
sewer
like you're right. You're
nightclub.
right.
He goes down there. His wife has a little drink of juice from her Funko Pop Bobble Dad's head, and then everyone pretends to eat her like they're the Cookie Monster. She like flakes out on the floor, and everyone goes, "Oh nom 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 nom." Ultimately, don't consume
I
her.
feel like Sam doesn't remember this bit at all.
I don't at all. I'm like, what the fuck? Maybe I did actually fall asleep for a
Maybe you
bit.
fell asleep. Maybe you had a long blink. After this, he basically told Mary, "I'm sick of you being in a cult. I don't vibe with it at all. I'm off. I'm leaving Silent Hill. Goodbye." And then that
Yeah,
was
that's the time I mentioned earlier, Ben, where he's like, "We're leaving. I've got your bags down, but I've not packed them on your behalf. I'm forceful about what we're doing, but I want you to have autonomy over what clothes you take."
it. Yeah, you brought all my shit clothes for God's sake. Uh,
I got no
so
pants that go with this bra. What are you doing, James?
I was putting all those clothes on Vinted, you prick. Shortly after
Where's my
arriving,
black top? The one I actually fucking like. You don't pay attention to anything I do.
it's too much hassle, isn't it? It's too much hassle. Um, So yeah, when I get to Brookhaven, Maria discovers an audio tape explaining that Mary was poisoned. That's good. See, because again in the game, these things uh fill in the blanks. Do you know what I mean? You're like, oh, how can we fill in the blanks? This kind of works in a game. Finding an audio tape in a film, kind of lame. Um, the hospital, yeah, the hospital turns into Nightmare Hospital, and this is when we get the nurses going on. I thought we were gonna get a bloody old boy style uh corridor sequence at one point. You noticed the bit when it was like panning down and all of the it was like from the side of the corridor and all the nurses were walking towards again.
Oh,
Kind of
it has
copying,
it
but
has a fleeting moment where you think you're going to get something of the quality of Smile 2's like flash mob dancers,
If
oh yeah.
only.
and
There's
we get a little hint of it, but then it just devolves into they all chased him down the corridor.
they all chased him down the
And just
corridor.
zero
Yeah.
threat. Zero threat in that scene.
It's
Well,
because
I guess the
they're
threat.
all made of plaster of Paris.
Oh
They
yeah.
just
So
weren't
fragile.
scary. They were scary in the first film. And this one, you just go, oh, oh, okay, they're gone now. Like,
Yeah.
it didn't feel like they were threatening at all.
I guess they were scary in the first one because there was that bit of like having to sneak past them and be quiet, and they're just going to
Mm,
swing for you if they sense you. They're like, that's scary. Whereas this, they kind of just are there, aren't they?
yeah,
Doesn't really
just
make
there.
sense. Just there. Um, So yeah, what happens next? Oh yeah, Maria gets horribly wounded by the
Oh,
by the
while they're waiting
monstrous
for the lift door
nurses.
to close.
Yeah, yeah. Again, this is similar in a way to some bits that happen in the game, but then you end up you're forced to abandon her and leave her alone because it it kind of plays into the sense of the game where you feel quite isolated and you need to go around this creepy hospital on your own. So the game writes her out of it. Again, they didn't really need to do this in the film, did they? Leaves her in a room. See you later.
He's
Um,
like, oh, I am bleeding pretty much to death, but if you don't find your wife, who, by the way, at this point, I would like to reveal, you can say that I look just like her if you want. Um, if you don't find her, do you want to come and find me? No guarantees I won't have bled out by then, though, because this is real serious.
this is real serious. Um, he gets lured into a room by Laura, who locks him in, and he encounters a giant, monstrous, moth-like version of Mary. How do we feel about this? The effects.
Awful.
She looked like what did she look like? There's something. It reminded me of something. I'm not sure what it was. It reminded me of something from one of the latter Hellraiser sequels. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
it's got that look about it. The only thing I can think of particularly is, in Brahms, colon the boy two Brahms too furious, where Brahms the
Brahms,
dolly
Electric
gets,
Boogaloo.
yeah, Brahms Secret of the Ooze, Brahms 2 Judgment Day. Um, when the dolly gets all burned and smashed up, and then he's all like a little scabby baby inside.
Oh yeah.
If you did that and then ran it through the photocopier at double size, so it's proper human size, that'd be him.
I reckon that's actually what they did. Hang on a minute. Do you know his budget that we spent on 67 sets and we ain't got no budget for Moth Monster?
Can we get one of those body stockings that people wear that make it look like you're a
With a
skeleton?
face.
Oh yeah. That's horrible. Don't like that.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah.
It was really awful. Like I like moths. I thought the whole moth thing when like thematically I was like, oh cool, moths, yay.
Mm.
And then wherever that fucking thing was, I was just like, oh no, what is this? It was no, it was not
Yeah.
good.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because I know, and Ben, correct me if I'm wrong again, because you're the Silent Hill lawman.
I don't know
Silent
about
Hill
that.
1 and 3 are connected, and Silent Hill 2 is a little separate, right?
Silent Hill 1 and 3 are connected, yes. Silent Hill
And
2
Silent
is almost like a
a
standalone thing.
standalone.
You don't
But
really have
but
that
in
much
Silent Hill
connected.
1 and 3, the
Yeah.
cult are they're trying to summon their moth-like god, right?
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
So he's a moth god, and they've just kind of co-opted him into this.
Yeah. It's a bit like, again, it feels like an amalgamation of a lot of the lore and creature design of some of the games, I guess. But yeah, that happens. I don't know what happens here. He just wakes up again. Oh
Yeah.
no, I'm gonna die. No, no, I've woken up.
And now he's in hospital,
The,
but
oh yeah,
regular
so I was trying to
hospital.
remember what the moth boss is from Silent Hill 1, the game, and it's called the Float Stinger. That's right.
Scary.
The Float Stinger. And it is scary. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's pretty much just a moth. It's not like humanoid or anything like that. It's a big,
Which are scary if you get them in your house. You know when you get the big ones that are like zeppelins.
Oh, hell no.
And I don't. I know it can't hurt me, and I know it's just a moth, but I also don't want it to be in my house or to touch me.
Oh, yeah, they're horrible. They really flap against you, don't they? Big,
Or they
heavy,
really flap against the light,
big,
and I'm like,
heavy,
"Oh,
dusty
mate, it's not the
bastards.
moon. How can I make you understand?"
There's a really
No,
good,
I
like,
always catch them and I put them outside
yeah.
gently and
Oh,
lovingly.
yeah.
But
You
they're
gotta
ever
do
so
that.
dusty, Sam. I just worry that I'm going to destroy it and then have endless guilt. I'll end up in a Silent Hill because I feel too guilty about accidentally killing a moth.
In the game,
Save
there's
the
like a
moth from
moth.
drowning in tzatziki.
You do like a moth puzzle in the game where you gotta like count the markings on the moth and then use it for a code. And then when you open the door, like loads of moths fly in your face. That's very mothy.
What a reward for doing a puzzle.
I'd
There's
love that.
there's a fucking puzzle in this game, right? And I'm still fuming thinking about it now. There's a box on like one of the floors of the apartment building, and it's got like I think it's 4 or 5 chains attached to it. And each chain, you go somewhere, do a load of shit, unlock the box, unlock the chain, sorry, and by the time you unlock all 5, you open the box, there's fucking nothing in there. Raging.
But do you
Absolutely
have to do
raging.
it to progress the game?
Yes, because then you do like a what the fuck, and then something happens. Anyway, I was fuming. Absolutely fuming. Um, okay, where are we up to now? So
So the moth boss he wakes up in regular
he
hospital.
wakes up in regular hospital, and then his psychologist goes, "Mary died shortly after your breakup. You've become delusional and obsessed with saving her."
You're mad. You-
Has he got a beard? Has he
when
got a
you,
beard at this
when-
point? It's not yet. It's later, isn't it? The
no,
beard.
he's got because this is when the crime of the beard gets me because he has the same beard
Mm,
when he's mad and in Silent Hill and depressed and all those other things that he does when he's a bloody grass smoking freestyle artist speeding around the mountains.
yeah.
His
Club
beard
Shadow.
is normal apart from one scene which is meant to be the emotional crux of the film.
Yeah.
And then he has a different beard, but just for that bit.
Yeah, it's like someone had just got hold of a fake beard and they gone, we got to whack this in the film somewhere. We got to.
I feel like honestly someone lost a fucking bet. And it was like, right, if I drink like they've gone out for a curry the night before they filmed it and goes, right, if I can drink all of this pot of sauce, if I can drink all the mango chutney in one go, you have to put this beard in the film. You'll never do it.
No, 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 I can't. I can't. It's a professional film. You fucking pussy.
Or how about eat all the onions as well? You bloody honk.
He's gonna be honking the next day.
Yeah.
Um,
Eat this really hot chili that's on the side of my curry. You'll never do that. If you do, I'll put that beard that you made into the film.
the
Fool.
hospital. Something happens where the hospital transforms back into Brookhaven,
Yeah,
and this
that
is
was
when.
so when he woke up from a nightmare, that in fact was another dream that he then wakes up from back in Silent Hill,
Yeah,
right?
and I think that
And
he manages to work out now that Maria isn't actually real, and that it says if she's not real, but is actually a doppelganger of Mary. Yeah, but still real. I don't know. And that's when he goes in the gallery made up of loads of paintings of her.
yeah,
Um,
is this when he also has a conversation with the soaking wet version of Mary, and she goes, "Oh, you're gonna bloody do me in." No, I'm not. And he's just, I've been away.
I don't remember that bit either. Maybe I fell asleep. Sopping wet version of her.
Yeah, the sandbags one.
Oh, that one.
He
Oh yeah,
sees
yeah.
her
She
again.
she turns up, and again, this is a key bit in the game. She's got a knife that you then take. You take the knife. You use the knife for something. The knife's just here in this scene. I've got a knife. Here it is.
And the little girl's been back, and her dolly's mad.
Oh yeah, that was unnecessary. What's all that about? What is the dolly?
He doesn't notice that the woman looks like his wife, but when he sees the dolly the first time, he goes, "What's up with your dolly?" And she goes, "Nothing." And puts it behind her back.
Your dolly looks like a Cabbage Patch Kid that's been left on a fire.
Your dolly makes Brahms too
Scabby
look
baby.
like a nice dolly. He's horrible.
Okay, okay. After this gallery bit, he says he doesn't need Maria anymore. The Pyramid Head appears behind Maria, kills her, and this is where it's like the most obvious, like Pyramid Head is James thing. We zoom pretty much right into Pyramid Head's face, and we see like, yeah, loads of it. Did anyone get it before that? I mean, I guess it was obvious, and they didn't. They signposted it pretty obviously, didn't they?
I knew just from seeing stuff on TikTok and stuff of like, did
Yeah,
you know that this is, before the film had even come out, I
yeah.
knew, so wasn't a surprise.
Did you know that this is James under this pyramid hat? Bloody twat.
So this
You
is
spoiled it now because I like Pyramid Head. I'm one of those feral girlies who fancies Pyramid Head, and now I know it's that fucking wetty underneath. I'm like,
Well, I
ugh,
guess in the film, yeah, but I don't think
in the
like
game, isn't he like a personification of his guilt?
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's like that. Like my guilt's got a massive pyramid on its head.
Yeah.
I feel real guilty about that time I had an old bar of Toblerone. So now it's manifested itself.
Oh, I
As
should have shared it, and I bought it at the airport, and that's ever so pricey. But I was bored, my flight was delayed, so I just had it all, and I'm not proud of myself. And then you land and you're in Silent Hill,
I had
and
the cat.
basically Pyramid Head, who is effectively a Cloud Strife S&M cosplayer with a big 3D shape head, and he's all amongst it, killing your family because dressed as a Toblerone.
Can you imagine
Yeah.
what he'd look like if it was like a modern day Toblerone with all them big spaces between them? Wouldn't be as
Oh yeah,
effective.
they fucking did
They've
that, didn't they?
they fucked with a Toblerone.
This is the
Rude.
true. I mean, we've talked about some scary things. The real enemy of the people is shrinkflation, and there it is in full effect.
I had the caramel Toblerone recently. Lovely, delicious.
I love a Toblerone, but it is one of those products that you would never pay full price for, like Pringles. RRP Pringles, fuck off. No, only when they're a pound at the co-op, and then so many tubes.
Hell yeah.
Toblerone the same. A fool only buys full price Toblerone.
Like again, there's a lot of this. James just waking up outside places. So obviously in the game, Lakeview Hotel, you row across the lake, and that bit's like really is emotionally heavy that you're finally getting towards Lakeview Hotel after the whole journey. But here he just wakes up outside it, and it's already on fire.
I mean, what do you want, Ben? They've got 67 sets. They can't also row across a lake.
I thought that's not a set, though, is it? Just
There
get
are
on a
no
lake.
transition scenes in this film.
Yeah, he's like teleporting everywhere. He's like bloody Nightcrawler. Um, So he goes into the. First of all, it's proper on fire. You wouldn't go in, would you? Oh, Jesus Christ! Come on, ever so dangerous.
It's not like, oh, I've maybe just got time to go in and get one thing. No,
No,
that fire has spread. No
yeah.
one's closed any of the fire doors.
So yeah, he goes in like a right knob. Um, and he encounters Laura, who explains that Maria and Angela. Again, I like how she explains it, just in case you didn't know. Well, I didn't. Maria and Angela are all figments of James's imagination based on aspects of her personality. And then I think it's revealed. The reveal is solidified by seeing that gravestone with all the names on it.
With all the names on it. Marie, Mary.
Marie,
Maria.
Maria,
Marigolds.
Marianne. There's just load of shit versions of that name.
Marilyn. You get all the names that you could possibly have.
Hmm.
And he goes, oh, bloody hell, you are all just elements of your personality, aren't you?
Yeah.
Whoops.
James sees Angela and he sees her get attacked by the abstract daddy. And again, it feels like they've just added the father element to Mary's story so that they can include the abstract daddy in this as like that sort of abusive figure. You know, it kind of looks like two bodies on a bed that have like melted. And again, like obviously in the game, it's a really horrific vision of like a father abusing his daughter, and it's like it's gross. It's in like a horrible fleshy corridor, like in the game. This it just felt like and this. Remember this from the game?
But, I mean, to be fair, we can criticize them for one, but the Super Mario movie just went, here is some shit from the game completely out of context, and that film made £1 billion.
Yeah. But you're not
It
going to
doesn't
sell
always
toys.
play.
You're not going to sell toys of the abstract daddy, are you? Or maybe you are. Someone might buy a toy of the
Sam, this is
abstract
when you
daddy.
turn around and show that you've got an abstract daddy on your shelf.
Collection. No, it'd be Pyramid Head
Yeah.
because we like him.
Yeah. We like Pyramid Head. He's cool. Um, so yeah, obviously that happens, and then James makes it to the roof of Lakeview Hotel where he has a final flashback, and this is where, again, the timeline of this all over the bloody place. He recalls when he returned to Silent Hill several months prior to find her dying of a prolonged disease caused by the cult drugging her. This is when he's got a beard. He looks like he's covered his face in Pritt stick and rolled around on a barbershop floor.
He absolutely does.
What's
Yeah.
the thing? They could have had a more effective beard if they'd done that. Like you could literally like go around the crew and be like, "Oh, everyone, put some pubes in a bag. Like, here's the scissors, cut some pubes." And they could have just stuck a load of pubes on, and that would have been a more realistic, like, grieving man scruffy beard than a poker straight. Like it was like the beard of a man who's gone to Turkey to have his teeth done, and he's had plugs done to like bring his hairline down, and he's had a bit of like filler and stuff. It was like one of those guys who straighten their beards. Like
Yeah.
it was like one of them guy
Guys,
beards.
do you know like the hair fibers you get in the little, you can like pop them on your head if your hair's thinning and it'll like fill it out. It looked like that, but for the beard.
Mm.
The hair fibers. It looked like a stiff breeze or a mere splash of water and it would all come crashing down.
Maybe I'm feeling differently, but I feel like he's just cut a shape out of corrugated cardboard and put it on his face there.
Go around to all the crew and go, can you cut some pubes off and put them in this bag? And they'll go, oh, is this for the beard? And you go, what? What beard?
It is the straightest beard that is 1 billion times fuller than his normal beard. If you'd wanted to make him have a scraggly beard, you could have just said, tell you what, we're breaking for the weekend. Don't shave. Have an extra couple of days beard that you don't normally have.
Yeah.
Or
Again,
even just put a bit of eyeshadow on him. Just make
mm,
him look real tired, and that would have done the trick. We would have gone, "Oh yeah, he's struggling. Look at him."
But also, like, isn't so Ben?
he's
This
struggling.
is he allegedly has been away from Maria, and he's come back to Silent Hill to see her and go, "Oh, sorry, you're terminally ill." So he's just arrived.
And the fact, this is the thing, this is why it has no emotional weight, because in this moment, he essentially mercy kills her. smothers her to death to end her suffering. Whereas in the game, he's in love with her. They're in like a relationship, and then she gets ill. So he sees her deteriorate in front of his eyes, and he feels
Bug us
guilt.
off for a bit.
He feels guilt about that. He feels guilt about how he feels about her deteriorating, the fact that he doesn't see her so much as someone that he wants to be with anymore, that he doesn't desire her anymore. He feels really guilty about that, and this mercy killing is entirely based on his own feelings. He does it to essentially kill her and not have to deal with,
Yeah, and she doesn't.
caring for someone who's terminally ill anymore. So it's a very selfish act. Whereas in this, they make it like, oh, she's suffering, please do it, you hero. And I'm
Not
like,
even, yeah,
that was never it.
not even in a way that is like subtly portrayed, where she's like, "Oh, I can't do this anymore," and then he
Mm.
decides to mercy kill her, and you could say that he misinterpreted it. She fairly overtly says, "What I need you to do,
Yeah. No,
Jimmy
no, 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 no.
Jimson, is to euthanize me,"
Jimmy
and
Jimson.
I promise, actually, maybe this is the thing. They don't have an open discussion about this. He doesn't at any point say, if I do what you're asking to and kill you with this pillow now, like you're asking me to, just to be clear, you are giving your consent, despite what the law says, to kill you at the minute. You're not gonna go back on this and haunt me and draw me into a sinister Silent Hill, are you? No.
Nah,
They should have clarified
I
that.
never do that.
I'd be mugged off so much if my wife really overtly in an emotional moment said, "Listen, Andy, I'm really suffering. You gotta finish me off. Like you gotta put me out of my misery." If I did that and then she
You've got to
haunted me,
finish me.
I'd be having words. I'd be like, "What? You don't go bringing me to Silent Hill. Like you are classically. This is thrown back in my face.
Out of
Something what
order.
I've done for you."
I know I keep saying in the game, but I'm going to say it one last time. In the game, you find a videotape and you watch it, and the videotape is like a lovely home movie interspliced with these flashes of you looking like you're you, James, killing Mary. So it's like, oh shit, what the fuck? It's not like this happened definitely 100%. Everything that kind of happens is open to interpretation. I feel like there is like an actual lore storyline, something that is canon, but it's still open to interpretation. And depending on what ending you get, is how you like come to terms with it. Like you either come to terms with it like, oh, I should probably die as well now, or you go, I'm just gonna leave and get on with my life.
It's
Do,
and
do,
it's
do.
in the game, isn't it? Like triggered in quite a subtle way, isn't it? Like how often you look at a certain item,
How
how
often you
violent you
look at
are throughout the
how
film.
often you look at the photo of your wife, which is in your inventory. If you look at it like not at all, it potentially would be one ending. If you look at it loads, keep looking at it. Stop looking at that photo, will you? Get over it.
Yeah.
A different ending. So again, it's really
And
subtle. It's
it's
really
about how
like,
violent you are with the monsters as well. If you avoid combat more than
yeah,
you seek it out, you get that different ending,
yeah.
which is based on,
And then how many times you save, and there's loads of things that come into
yeah,
it.
it's
But
based on how you have interacted with the game, which I know you can't do in a passive piece of entertainment like a film. But I feel there were ways that it could have been drawn out, and that loss of subtlety,
hmm,
in many ways, and maybe this is the only comparison I'm going to have with beautifully designed film Frankenstein. Like it takes away those subtleties, all those edges, and because video games are potentially a more overlooked and less censored piece of media because they aren't consumed in the same way as films,
hmm,
you're allowed to have quite those edgy moments where you do talk about um, making perhaps an erroneous or selfish decision to kill someone with a terminal illness, and you can look at the flaws of this character in a little bit more of an edgy way. I saw some other reviews and comments saying the problem they had with Silent Hill 2 is that it has become quite sanitized and ultimately sexless because it is about the loss of desire for his partner and her not
yeah,
wanting to be that same object of attraction that he was into in the beginning, and that's why you see such sort of sexually charged violence from the Pyramid Head character in the game as well,
yeah,
because that is the aggressive side of his persona and the guilt that is represented there, and those things, not to be transgressive, are taken out of this film and are
yeah,
not even attempted at all, right?
yeah. It just feels like a sanitized kind of like Hollywood scary film, doesn't it? That's the
Yeah.
thing. I don't know. Oh
Again,
God.
Sam, we're leaning into you here as that as our non-game player here, and I know you only got it second or in my case even third hand from representing it from what we've read about it. But would any of these things have maybe changed how you viewed the film if those things were for better or worse?
Yeah, I think giving it more of a interesting, well, any fucking story would be more interesting, but giving it an interesting story, pouring in that conflict of yes, we see him kill her, but I didn't get any of the conflict of like how long she's been suffering and he's been struggling with that or any of that sexual repression. Or obviously, we've seen like a sexier version of her in the Blood Rave version of her. But you don't get any of that in the film. It's just like she died, he's sad. There's none of that like complexity or nuance there.
Mm.
And that would have even just given something that could have been done in a bit of dialogue. Like the film as it is quite exposition heavy. That's another thing that I was like, is this like a link to the game? Is the game, I feel like games have quite big exposition-y bits in like
Mm.
cutscenes and stuff. So I felt like that was in the film, but they could have very easily put like 2 minutes of dialogue in to get some of these themes across. Even in the conversations with the therapist, they could have included some of that conversation about like that repressing his feelings of attraction or grieving the loss of his feelings of attraction for his wife. Those sorts of things. If you put a therapist character in there, utilize that and try and bring that
Mm.
depth to the film because there was no depth to anything. Like I said, I didn't care about any of the characters. I didn't have any feelings about any of them other than just boredom. I wasn't emotionally invested in the storyline, invested in the characters. None of the scenes had any kind of like, oh, what am I trying to say? I don't know. Like, nothing felt like there was any risk or danger
Mm.
to anybody. It was just like, oh, there's some stuff. Cool. Next bit.
Yeah.
And I just didn't feel invested in anything. And one interesting little bit of story in there would have made me go, oh, okay, I like what they did
Mm.
there. But there was literally nothing in there for me to like sink my teeth into and think about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've got me really thinking about this now on that point that we just covered. That I can forgive a film for not having the biggest budget or not being the way that I would interpret something because that's the way that art works. I think I have the biggest problem when it doesn't attempt to do anything. And what we've just covered there, and I would have never pulled this on my own without having this discussion. But you, Ben, bringing up like the how he's meant to feel about his wife. I just quickly looked it up like some sort of professional producer here. There are estimated, even 10 years ago now, 40 million people in the world who are full-time care equivalents for an ill or disabled loved one. That is an experience that countless people, the reality of the figures, probably there are hundreds of millions of people that are caring in some capacity for someone. And we all know these stories. There are people whose relationships change. Um, there's a fundamental, almost existential horror about it that your relationship with someone can change from that of a partner or a friend or an hate to use the word lover and ironically because it makes me feel a bit gross, but you know what I mean. Someone you're in a romantic relationship with, and that relationship turning from what it is to one of obligation and care, and the person you had that relationship with is not existing in the same way anymore, and there's nothing you can do to help them, but you have this responsibility for them. And there are lots of people who struggle with that every single day. That is an incredibly relatable story. I will not depress us at this time on a Wednesday evening by saying how many children have to do that and are full-time carers today. It is a hugely emotionally charged, quite horrific, and actually quite a deep thing that you could have dived into. Does it necessarily fit naturally into the adaptation of a game? Maybe not, but when the game itself, which I would hope you would both agree is games by and large are seen as lesser art forms than films, when the game is approaching these kinds of topics and giving us some exploration of it, what excuse does a film adaptation have not to have tried it?
You could
Yeah.
have very easily gone into the whole like elevated horror, grief is the monster thing. It could have just been like the littlest thing
There
to
for the
just,
taking.
yeah, add that in. And I know the term elevated horror is, bandied around and things, but like it would be very easy to sit down and go, okay, how can we bring across this whole grief thing a bit more interestingly rather than it just be like, oh, he's sad because he went away and then he came back, then he killed her at the end.
Yeah.
The thought of Silent Hill being the scary place it is as like almost like a limbo for his grief.
Yeah.
That's a horrifying thought, absolutely horrifying. And that would then give you some kind of gravitas to the level of the grief, and it would give you that like I keep not remembering the word I want to use, but like add real stakes when he's there. Like I never felt like there was any peril, not even PG mild peril. Like there was nothing going on in Silent Hill that made me ever worried or nervous for him.
He was
But
never in danger, right?
no.
No.
But even if it's just like knowing his mental state is that fragile, such is the level of grief that he's going through, and that he will make silly decisions when the plastic bag man is coming for you. Like I didn't feel any of that because I just knew that, oh well, they're not together anymore. He's had a letter off her. Oh, she's dead. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The
That
fact
was
that
I
just
think
they'd split up and then he'd been away and then he comes back and decides to give
then
her
he
a
comes
mercy
back and kills.
killing.
They're not
I'd be
in
like
a
that.
full relationship anymore. There is so much more weight to it being you're in a committed relationship and you are unshakably together. That is what you commit to in marriage vows for all over the world, right? And regardless of religion or legal status, people make commitments to each other that they're going to stick with each other through anything. And then for those to be tested by some of the most horrible situations you could do in, yes, maybe in this case generated in a slightly silly way because a cult has poisoned you, but the same kind of thing that is testing those relationships beyond their breaking point. And then, Sam, to bring back to what you said, the fact that Silent Hill, in its essence, it isn't a purgatory or a hell that a vengeful god or supernatural force necessarily sends you to after you have passed away yourself. This is a haunted place where if you go to or find your way to because you are laden with guilt and all these demons that are within your head, you can send yourself to this horrible hellscape and become trapped in it as a result, tormented by your own very personal, unless they're really iconic, in which case use them as many times as you want, demons. Like that is a far more compelling story, and I just wish it didn't take us, three of the foremost horror academics, to bring it out to the forefront.
We got there. Let's quickly wrap at the ending then. So, on the roof, moth-like version of Mary appears before James. He apologizes to her. He has a little float, transforms back into Mary as well, doesn't the thing? And then we see the
Just
ending
kill
where
yourself then. Yes. All right.
just kill yourself. And then we see an end where James places Mary's body in his car and drives off the pier into the water. This is one of the endings of the game, the in-water,
The lake ending.
the lake ending. That's it. And then he suddenly wakes up, and I don't know how I feel about this. He suddenly wakes up in the moment where him and Mary met, relives their first encounter. The bus driver's still impatient, and then goes, instead, let's not go back to Silent Hill. Instead, let's go somewhere else. Swansea, perhaps.
Yeah. So
good idea.
what's
Good
that
idea.
meant to imply, do you both think?
I
Oh,
thought it
it's
was
just-
heaven.
Yeah, he's gone to heaven now.
It's gone to heaven.
Yeah.
Or it's just
Because
it's
you've
all
killed
a
yourself.
bloody dream.
They're famously really chill about that in heaven.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the end of Return to Silent Hill. I guess what we got to do now is bloody rate the film. Ratings are A to F. Pluses and minuses are allowed. Let's go to you first, Sam. No pressure. How would you
F
rate?
minus. No, F. I won't give it an F minus because the computer game stuff looked quite cool. So F for fail.
F for bloody fail.
That was the most emotional response ever to anything since the rat. F minus.
F
That was
minus and bring back the rat. Andy, you want to elaborate on that?
it's not far off, Ben. I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it an E minus because
You're nice.
things I'm gonna give credit to. The performance artists, good. Like there are people doing some physical work on this. You know what? Set design. You designed some nice looking sets. I'm sad you didn't have so much interesting content to deliver in those sets, but good on you for for making those things happen.
67 sets.
But yeah, an E minus for me, and I will close out by saying, you know what? $23 million is not a lot for a Hollywood movie, but it is a tremendous amount for more money than lots of the independent filmmakers that we know and we see the work of in the course of the show and the festivals we go to. $23 million, what they could have done. I'll throw you a quick example. You give friend of the show, former guest Andy Edwards $23 million, and the focus he did to that Rumpelstiltskin with, I would imagine, not a tenth of that budget. Give it to like character actors like Joss and people like that. I think you would have got a more passable film. Someone give these things to an independent filmmaker to $1 million would be more money than they have ever dreamed of playing with, and see what that kind of can-do mentality, that scrappiness of an independent filmmaker could have done to this story.
And that's why I'm so harsh
Yeah,
because we're in a lucky position that we get to see loads of really cool indie movies at screenings and festivals and things. And can you imagine what some of these people could do with that money?
Mm.
And then you've got, I know it's not huge amounts of money, but you've got notable IP and carrying on a franchise that people know and love, and they gave us that.
Mm.
So I'm harsher about it because
Disappointing, isn't it? I'm just
I'm
gonna
disappointed.
I'm just gonna go for an E, I think. Um,
the high bar, Ben.
yeah, I'll be the high bar because I mean I didn't like hate it. I think I just got very bored and very disappointed overall with
Yeah.
what they did. But I kind of expected it in a way. I don't know why. You know, when you see those first images, you're not like, oh, my hopes are high. My hopes were, pretty low anyway. So I guess I wasn't. I was disappointed, but not as disappointed as I could have been if I thought it was going to be good. Okay, there we go.
That's
That's
that's that's fair. And again, I think we can say this, and I always feel a need to soften ourselves when we talk about a film in a negative sense because we live in a terrible, toxic internet where people can personally, you ruined the thing that I love. It wasn't for me. There are critical things I can say about that film, and I was disappointed in it. Do I think that anyone who made it deliberately set out to do a bad job? No. Do I think they're bad people? No. They just missed the mark on this for me.
There we go then. That was Return to Silent Hill, a deep dive. Sam, thanks for joining us. Where can our listeners keep up to speed with you online, your podcast, and everything else you put out on social media?
The best place is probably at sam.munster on Instagram. Everything else is linked there. Always doing all sorts of different random things in different places. So you can always find everything linked there.
Absolutely.
Nice.
We'll put links to that in the show notes, of course.
I'm gonna
Thanks
catch up
everybody.
on some episodes, Sam. Gonna get on board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Don't
M
listen to the ghost stories one. There's 4 hours of me talking to myself about how much I love ghost stories.
I
I'm
feel
gonna
like I want to
save
listen
that.
to
I
that
got
one
another
more.
flight in a few months. I'll save it for then.
Are you all right there, mate? Okay, so thanks for listening, everybody. If you enjoyed the show, become a patron at patreon.com/horror hangout. Thanks to Taj Easton for our theme music. Thanks to Acast and Rusty Quill for hosting the show. Please consider giving us a rating or review. We're on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Threads, Facebook, all of those places. Horrorhangout.co.uk for everything in one place. Next week, it's Primate with special guest Ben Scaife. Looking forward to that. You liked Primate, didn't you, Sam?
I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to see it on the weekend.
Oh,
My goodness,
I'm
text us
really
your review,
excited.
please.
text
I
us
will.
your
I
review.
will.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. I've seen it. It's bloody awesome.
Oh, I've seen it's really good. Yeah.
Jaw-droppingly
I'm more
awesome.
excited after listening to your interview with Johannes. So
Oh, he was
I'm
lovely
excited.
as well.
He seemed
Yeah.
very nice.
We've got lots to talk about. But thanks again, Sam. Thanks for joining us. And we'll see everybody soon. Take care.
Yeah, if your partner asks you to smother them, find out what their intentions is after you do it. Come on, don't be a mug. Right.
See you later.
See you later, boy.
Bye bye.